Hey, can you guys hear me? Sound check. Sound check. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. Sincerely apologize for the wait today. I know I came, I'm live a little bit late today. Usually when I do these nightly live streams, I go live somewhere around 8 p.m. Eastern, but today 8:35 Eastern. So I apologize. We'll get into why I was late in a second. By the way, what do you guys think of my new shirt? I just got a gift from my really good friend, Dave and Rebecca. Actually, Rebecca made this for me. Look at that. This is actually the first tie-dye shirt I've ever had. How awesome, right? All right. So let's get into it, guys. You already know how we do here. We basically just open up the chat when we do these live streams at night. We do these once a month where basically we get together and you guys just ask me anything. We talk about all kinds of random things and we have a good time. And that's basically how we do it here. So, basically why I was late today was simply because I had some workers, some, Yucatecan, workers, they were metal workers, steel workers, and they were out there working on my gate. Because, long story short, again, it's very hot, very humid out here. On top of that, I got Gizmo that likes to, mark his territory. And, all of these things combined, especially Gizmo, basically deteriorated the gate to the point where, it was basically see-through already. So, yeah, I've been working, the guys have been working on it for days. And this has already been day 3. And they basically got it done, but, the guy has to finish up a few other, cosmetic things, and he's going to just come back tomorrow because they were already, all right, man, it's beer o'clock. And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it, man. I'm already late for my show anyway. I got you. It is what it is. You've been here since 9 in the morning, so it's all good. So, and in fact, they were telling me, he's like, hey, do you mind if we go get a couple beers down, do you mind if we go get a couple beers over there, at the beer store down the block and come back and just, have them here under your tree, before we go home to our wives? I'm like, yeah, man, of course. So they're literally out there right now having beers under the tree after a hard day's work. And they're going to come back tomorrow and just finish off all the cosmetic things. And how do I know they're coming back tomorrow? Because they're leaving all their tools here. They're leaving everything here. Because again, they don't want to. They're already going to drive home drunk on their motorbike. They don't want to be carrying all those tools with them. So, anyways, I gotta love it out here. So, and it's kind of crazy because they're welders, and they're out there working on the iron gate. They're welding the iron gate, and they don't even have like a mask on or anything like that. And it's interesting. And so we asked them, it's like, hey, how come you guys don't wear a mask? And can you not afford one? And he goes, no, we can afford them. We have them. We just don't like to wear them. They're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. And so it's like, yeah, man, it's a different level out here. I like to share these stories and talk about these things because, again, it's not for everybody. Some people love that Mexico is this way, get a kick out of it, where other people, yeah, no way. But anyways, let's get back to the shirt real quick. I see Rebecca Rogers, shout out to her. She's in the chat. She's the one that made the shirt. So shout out to her. Thank you very much. give her a big shout out. But yeah, let me just model it one more time. I'm very happy. Again, this is the first time I've ever had a tie-dye shirt ever, and I actually like it. It looks good on me. You know, it was great. I've never thought a tie-dye shirt would actually look good on me, so I don't know. What do you guys think in the audience? Do you guys think, be honest, okay? Let me know if you think it looks good or not. I like it. I'm not a big tie-dye fan, but I actually like this shirt, you know what I mean? I'm actually very surprised how nice it came out. So, but anyways, so yeah, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, again, that was explaining to you guys why I was late today. You know, because again, they were working on that out there today. But it was just, yeah, it's so interesting to, you know, just see, you know, how these people work and how everything works. On top of that, like, you know, I was like, you know, you guys did a really good job. You know, I would love to recommend you guys. You know, how come you guys don't have WhatsApp? And they're like, nah, you know, we're not into the smartphone, you know, fancy anything. You know what I mean? They're, you know, they said, no, we got one of those, like, basically like a flip phone. Because, you know, communicating with them, it's basically through the phone. You know, even if I send a text, I'm not even going to get it because they basically have like a Nokia or some flip phone or, you know, some shitty phone like that. And and that's the way. And so I told them, hey, how come you don't get like a phone so you can put WhatsApp? And it's like, nah, whatever. So anyways, and that's why it's kind of difficult too, because it's like when sometimes I want to recommend some of these guys, you know, for some people they get it, you know, some people definitely can communicate with them. They don't really have a problem, you know, talking to them and hiring them and working with them. But, you know, other people out there, you know, it's impossible to even, you know, for them to communicate or work together or anything like that. But anyways, shout out to everyone in the chat. By the way, remember what I was saying earlier? I mean, remember what the show's about? So again, if there's any questions about any topic, you know, you guys want me to touch on or talk about, let me know. You know, otherwise, you know, I'm just going to randomly just chat here, you know. So hope you guys are having a wonderful night so far. Drinking some grape juice here. I don't know what you guys are drinking out there. You know, let us know in the chat, you know. Get the chat going to see what you guys are drinking out there. Got me some grape juice. So anyway, shout out to everyone in the chat. Let's just go through it. You know, shout out to Hanson. You know, the other half. By the way, if you don't know who Hanson is, he's the other half of the podcast. All right, back when we used to do the podcast. And by the way, let me know if you guys are interested in a revival of the podcast, because we oftentimes talk about, you know, bringing it back. You know, maybe doing it once a month or twice a month. Let us know if you're interested. We're gonna do it anyway. We're probably gonna be doing it, but yeah, we're gonna be back at it. Only more fuckest, all right? More fuckest than ever, all right, on the podcast. But anyway, shout out to everyone. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to Hanson. Shout out to DJ Muñeco. Shout out to AS Calibre, Maya, El Jefe, Maricela Franco. Shout out Rose, Safra. Mary, El Jefe again. Johnny. All right, shout out to everyone out there. Meggie, Safra. Who else? Streetcar. Shout out to everyone. Number one dad. Oh, I see the questions already coming in. Rebecca, Demonte, El Jefe. All right. Okay, let's get some questions real quick. All right, questions. Was it hard to get a visa? No. Is there a video about it? Yes, I got multiple videos on it. Most countries have basically, you know, easy entry into Mexico. So most countries just look, you know, to see what your visa situation is. But most of the time, you know, you, Johnny, I'm sure, you know, it seems like you might be an American or Canadian or something like that. You get your visa in the air. You know what I mean? It's a tourist visa. It's a FMM3, really what it is, which is basically it's a multi-purpose visa. So really, most people that come to Mexico for the first time, or they're just coming to Mexico, you know, to visit or what have you, they get one of these multi-purpose visas, which is an FMM3, which is otherwise known as a tourist visa. Okay, but it's just a visa. And these days, you know, they don't even give you a visa anymore. They basically, you know, if you're one of the countries that has easy entry into Mexico, you know, you just basically show up to the immigration desk after you get off the plane, and they just stamp your passport. You're good to go. No visa, no problem. All right. So, you know, the visa is on your passport. All right. But yes, I have other videos. Just do a quick search, you know. I got live streams. I got questions I've answered on that topic. So, you know, I go deeper into visas depending on your situation. Now, if you are a person that comes from a country that might not have easy entry into Mexico, you guys don't have one of those relationships with Mexico for whatever reason, there's not that many countries out there, then just get in touch with Jose Novelo, in order, which is the lawyer, that I have down below in the description, and he can help you out with your situation. Just some people do have a little bit of a complicated visa situation, but yeah, anyways, but for most people, it's no problem. It's just easy peasy. Number one, Dad says, do you need to purchase an insurance plan from the bank when you open up a bank account? No, you do not. Insurance? What? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Who told what? By the way, I get asked so many questions. By the way, I offer one-on-one consultations, where we do like a video call through Skype or Zoom or what have you, and I answer all your questions that you might have about moving to Mexico. And man, very recently, I've been getting a lot of weird, kind of questions like this one. I don't know what's out there on the internet, but man, it feels so bad. I feel so bad for a lot of you guys that, unfortunately stumble upon bad information. But anyways, no, you do not need an insurance plan for your bank account. A bank account is a bank account, just like back home. That's it. You just open it and you got a bank account. That's it. So what are my thoughts on C Banco and Scotty Bank? I don't know. I really don't have any. I'm not a fan of banks. I hate banks, but I understand that they are a necessary evil. I have not had any problems with Banco Azteca and BBVA. Those are two great banks. In fact, BBVA is considered like one of the best banks. But I really don't have. Citibank is, a world bank. They have Citigroup, Citibank in the U.S., and Scotty Bank is also a European bank. So these two, while BBVA and Banco Azteca are both just Mexican banks. All right. Thank you. Oh, by the way, guys, thank you all so very much on the kind words. On the T-shirt. Glad you like it. Let me see. More questions. By the way, if I missed your question, please just put it back on there, okay? It's not that I'm ignoring it, all right? If I'm not going to answer a question, I'll let you know, all right? But otherwise, just put it on again, all right? Because it'll help me, all right? So I don't have to be scrolling back and forth trying to figure out the questions here, okay? So if for whatever reason I skip your question, I'm trying to go in order here, just please provide it again, and we will get to it. Yes, me and Lambo, we're a team here, all right? All right, let's see, more questions. What is the cheapest place to live in Mexico? That's safe. Most of Mexico's safe these days. The thing is, that's the reality, So, just stay out of, certain areas out there that are heavily contested with the whole cartel war situation. There's only a few places, but not all of Mexico. Just stay away from those places, Basically, if you are in major cities, you'll be fine. The more rural you'll be, and again, depending on the state, will depend on whether you're going to have, you're going to be, confronted with these situations, which again, even if you're in those places, very rarely, are they going to ever do anything or bother you, whatever. Again, more dangerous in the USA. Just me and my horse's opinion. But I feel the USA is way more dangerous. I happen to live in some of the most safest parts of Mexico, which is the Yucatan Peninsula. Out here is pretty safe. Cancun can be a little sketch, but still safe, all right? And so on and so forth. But the whole Yucatan Peninsula, everything from Campeche, Yucatan, and all, so on and so forth, pretty safe. And then cheap, the reality is that it differs, Right now, Mexico, depends on who you ask. Some people might say it's extremely cheap. Some people say it's very expensive. Mérida, Yucatan used to be the cheapest. Now it's not. I don't know what the cheapest is right now. But a good way to find out. Hold on, I got a website you guys can check. 1 second. Let me find it. Might as well show you. Doopy doopy doop. Hold on. Let me see with a website. Website. Oh, there it is. Is that it? I think this is it. There we go. Close enough. All right, we can use this one. I think there's another one. All right, I'll show you. I'll put it on the screen while I'm looking, so you guys can at least check that out. Oh, but well, I can look off screen. Okay. But that's cost of living in Mexico. But anyways, but you can see at the top, the name of the actual website Okay, so you guys can go to that website. There's another one, all right? It's really good as well. But that website, oh, there it is. Okay, and then this website as well. Okay, and so for example, you know what I mean? Just you know, select location. Okay, so let's go with Merida, which is where I live right now. Merida, Mexico. Okay, and then right there, boom. Okay, so you're just gonna have to do your research on this, you know what I mean? But by the way, this is how I found out, you know what I mean? Like the cheapest cost of living. So what did I do? I went through Mexico here, right? So you see cost of living Mexico, okay, as you guys can see there, all right. And then since where was it? There was something where I looked at. There was like a chart. Oh, there it is. Okay. So see, look, this is the cost of living index. Okay, so as you guys can, oh, my fat face is in the way. I'm gonna get my fat face out of the way for a minute, okay? But as you guys can see there, okay, this is cost of living index, okay, rent, and again, you can kind of do this homework on your own here. But you know, here, if you go that way, I think that's the cheapest, right? A rent index. So 14. Okay, what does that what does that mean? 14 percentile. Does that mean is it more expensive? Or cheaper? Oh, okay. The closer to red it is, the more expensive it is. Okay, so let's see real quick. Okay, let's flip this around. Did it work? Oh, sorry, my thing's a little slow over here. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. And I think this is at the highest there. But anyways, cost of living plus rent index. All right, maybe let's do that one. Okay. So this makes sense. You know what I mean? Like basically, the higher the number, the more expensive the city. So this is how you know, okay? So, but again, you got to do your own research, right? This is just to kind of give you some background, all right? So this, yes, 100% Monterrey is the most expensive. Mexico City, most expensive. Puerto Vallarta, Playa del Carmen, all those are very expensive. And look at that, boom! Merida is number 8. Merida is number 8. Okay, so it's getting expensive, all right? So just to give you an idea. And then if we flip it around, cheapest, it seems to be Puebla. Man, you know, look at that. That doesn't make sense. I thought there would be more cities. There's only was it showing 1 of 10 entries. Whatever. I'm sorry, man. You know, I'm not Anyways, we can. I'm looking at the chat. I feel like you guys. What is he doing? This guy's retarded. Oh, sorry. I can't use the R word. Uh-oh. Anyways, Todd did. All right. I apologize for that. Okay. So look. So long story short, there's another website here. So you got live. I'm gonna put them in the chat. You know, to me, I love you guys so much because a lot of times it's like it's amazing that like how I think to myself, how do you guys enjoy the content that I provide? I love you guys. You guys are the best. Okay, so I'm gonna put the 2 websites there. All right. Hopefully that'll help. Okay. All right, let me see what you guys are saying there. Where again are the local apartment listings from you and David? The one with the picture of the VW bus on your website somewhere? Huh? I don't know what. I don't know. Let me see. Living in a corporation with the biggest. Okay, let me see. Questions. Oh, so there you go. Speaking of security, spent 2 weeks in Mexico City, Puebla, Oaxaca last month. Never felt unsafe. Just standard precautions. You know, again, you know, common sense. Again, standard precautions against pickpocketers and, you know, petty crime. And, you know, that's it. You know, awesome. Citibanco charge use. Okay, let me see. Questions. Jose, I just got back from Querétaro. Had to see it for myself. I'm a few years away from retirement. And everything you said about Mexico is exactly what it said. Oh, awesome, Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia. Glad it was helpful. The life, the plazas, the number of small businesses. Wow, awesome. Yes, it is a sight to behold. I love it out here. Maya says, do you have to buy a round trip ticket? No, you don't. I actually made a live stream, a video on it. You guys can check that out. But no, long story short, you do not. All right, you don't. Anyways, do you have to buy a round trip ticket? Can you fly to Mexico without any legal paperwork except a passport? Yeah, that's all you need is a passport and a one-way ticket. That's all you need. Yeah, passport, one-way ticket. That's all you need. I want to stay there for a while. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, you got nothing to worry about. So yeah, if you want to travel to Mexico, all you need is a passport. A valid passport, and you need the other thing. Yeah, a ticket. Sorry, a plane ticket. This guy.
Bruh.
Yeah, James says, yeah, big police military presence in every city center, never felt unsafe. So yeah, the bigger the city, the bigger the more, money in the city, or just cities, major cities, are all going to have police and government presence, and you'll be fine. You got nothing to worry about. You might get robbed or shaken down by the cops, but, nothing crazy, not ever like in the U.S. where your life is threatened by all police for the most part. But yeah, that's it. You don't got nothing to worry about. The more rural you go, the more in charge are, like the cartels or, other organizations or what have you. But the more into the city you go, more into cities you go, it's really, the government that runs the whole show, the police. And, you're safe. You're safe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Like I said, depending on the city, because I don't want to say completely safe. Like I said, depending on the city, depending on the cop, a little shakedown. Hey, let me get a $25. Like $30, right? Whatever the 500 peso note is worth these days. But that's it, really, honestly. Shout out to James Jordan out there. Nice to hear from you, too. Shout out to Pedro Zapata. What do you think about AMLO? Is he a good president? I mean, as a foreigner, as a guy that doesn't know anything, about the government out here or how things work out here. It's kind of insane. So I have a favorable opinion of him. But again, it's like the more I learn about Mexico, the more I learn about the politics, the more I learn about everything, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I feel the same way about politics out here like I would feel back home about politics, you know what I mean? Where it's just a clown show. They're all on the same team. It doesn't even matter really who you're rooting for or what have you. So, I mean, I look at it like the same way. The more I know about it, so it doesn't really affect me. I really don't care. But he seems good, I guess. The people like him, whatever that's worth, But the one thing about Mexico that's amazing, that you have nothing to worry about here, okay? I mean, that is very different, from the U.S. in a sense, is the fact that, the government really has very little power out here. And so since, the less power the government has, well, the more free you really are. So really, that's great. So to me, it really doesn't matter. So whatever. Anyways, shout out to James Jordan out there for the $20 super chat. Hells to the yeah. Shout out to you. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Oh yes. Also here, I'm gonna give you guys, for anyone out there that wants to find cheap rentals in Merida, under 10,000 pesos or less, I'm gonna provide the link to the group. Okay, it's a Facebook group. You should join the group, and it's very helpful. David Rogers runs the group, so shout out to him as well. Thank you very much. Let me see. Alicia Rogers says, hello, when are you going to do a video on the new gastronomic street in Merida? Well, when it's built, I'll do it. It's not built yet, so I'm still working on it. But, I guess I'll talk about it. The reality is that I am not one of those YouTubers. You know what I mean? It's not really what I do. You know what I mean? There's other people that can do food reviews, restaurant reviews, city reviews. The city doesn't pay me. I'm not working for the tourism board. So I just happen to live in Mexico. That's it. And I'm sorry, I just happen to live in Merida. But really what I'm trying to get out there is that Mexico's awesome. It's a huge country, just like the USA. So just pretend, okay? Like I'm just, I live in Miami and I'm doing my videos out of Miami. I'm just telling you guys, Hey, the USA is great. Come to the USA. That's it. You know what I mean? More like that. You know what I mean? Or live in the USA, or these are the things with the USA. And there's a lot of things about the USA that are, basically, even Steven, no matter where you are, whether you're in Miami, New York, LA, right? Seattle, Texas, there's a lot of things that are American, no matter where you're at. But there's other things that are uniquely from certain areas. And that's it. But I mean, I'm just trying to focus more each and every day on, just all of Mexico, more than here. Yes, I'll talk about here. Yes, I'm going to show here. Yes, I have a lot more knowledge of this area than most people because I've been here for a very long time. But, it is, it's not really, it's not really like content I'm more interested in because, like I said, I'm not a food review guy. I'm not one of those guys, So, trust me, I've done plenty of videos on, going to events, going to, like the Day of the Dead, or going to, the art festival, going to all kinds of things, and nobody cares or watches those videos, and they're hard to produce, and I don't get to enjoy, the event, and, nah, it's okay. You know what I mean? Look, if those videos got like 100,000 views, yeah, 100% I would do them, but I'm not going to do them for 2,000 views when I know there's other videos that literally are filled with information, real information that a lot of people are, in need of. And those are the videos I'm really just trying to focus on more than anything else. And, it is what it is. So I hope that answers that question for everyone out there, all right? So, any way to finance private vehicle purchase, would you ever recommend it? Not that I know of. I mean, if you've been here in Mexico, okay, for years, okay, and you have, permanent residency or citizenship. Honestly, I don't know how financing works. I think financing might only be to citizens. But maybe if you're a permanent residency, you can get it. But how you get it is that you got to build credit. How do you build credit? Well, again, you got to be in Mexico for a certain amount of years. You got to have a bank account at the very least where you're moving money in and out, where they see, oh, this guy might be a trustworthy person. Oh, let's offer him a credit card or some sort of thing like that, You take their offer. You use the card. You build your credit, same as in the USA. And then at that point, yeah, you might be able to get a car loan, you know what I mean? But again, the rates are very high for the most part, and it's very rare for them to do that. I don't know. I mean, I think most people just got to pay cash. And the same thing goes for housing, all right? So just FYI, all right? So I hope that answers your question. So the only thing that you can do is maybe get private financing, through the owner. Let's say you're buying a used car and you kind of work out a deal with the guy and saying, hey, I'll pay it off, month to month until eventually I pay it off and then I get the car title. But not like a new car from the lot. Not that I know of. Again, this is just, my limited experience in that department. But anyway, shout out for all the kind words out there. Thank you, Canary. Mary Dahl says, have you been to the school, the mermaids school? Have you been to the school for the mermaids? Can you snorkel with sea turtles? No, I've never been there. Never heard of it. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what, I wouldn't be a mermaid. I'd be more like a sea cow. Like a manatee. You guys know about manatee? I'm more like a manatee, like a sea cow. Why would anyone want to drive in Mexico? Well, to get around. What do you mean? I drive around in Mexico. There's nothing wrong with driving around Mexico. Lots of people do it. David Rogers drives around in Mexico. A lot of people do. But yes, I mean, honestly, they have really good public transportation. But unfortunately, there are times when, you might want to drive. So, FYI. But, it is what it is. It's not for everybody. Christian doesn't drive. She would never drive. That's not her thing. So I get it. By the way, like I was saying earlier, if you asked a question and I missed it, or, ask it again. Okay, so just please ask it again. David Rogers says, talk about the new Mayan train and the connection buses and all the new infrastructure. Oh, sure. I don't know anything about that, so I would have to do a video on that. But honestly, when that gets built, see, look, that is a video I am interested in doing. That is a video I would like to do. I am going to do. So once the Mayan train is like fully built, once that thing's going, I'm definitely going to be doing a video on that. I'm definitely going to be taking a round trip. That would be awesome. I can't wait for that. But right now, I really don't know much, about the train. I just know that they're, building a lot of infrastructure for the train, not just the train tracks, but they're building train stations, outside of the city. They're building, like electric, kind of like bus mover thingamajiggies, to take you out to those, to the main train station. They're adding a lot of, they're building better roads, bringing better buses, and the infrastructure is really changing in Merida. In fact, it's getting better each and every day, in Merida, so, the more, it's surprising. A lot of times I'm driving down the street expecting it to be full of potholes, and all of a sudden it's not. It's like, hey, all of a sudden we got a brand new road. And, I see more and more new buses, more and more new technology, more and more new movers, taking people out, to the supposed, to the future train station that's outside of the city, and so on and so forth. Again, they're building that restaurant corridor. Again, look, when it's built, I'm sorry out there. I didn't mean to sound like a jerk. I know sometimes I do that. But again, once they build that corridor, the restaurant corridor, and I'm definitely going to go through there. I'm walking through there all the time. I show you guys those areas. But again, I'm just not going to be just focused on that, but I will be going through those areas, and I can't wait to see how it's built. It's going to be pretty awesome, from everything I've seen and I keep hearing. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm definitely going to be sharing it with you guys in the future, as soon as it's built. But right now, which it's still going to be a while. It's still going to be at least like 6 months or more. So who knows? Well, not 6 months. In fact, they're saying that it's all going to be done by the end of the year. But we're in Mexico, and anyone that's been in Mexico long enough knows that they're not really all about timelines, or what is it? Or staying, or keeping it on time. Let me see. All right, next question. Chris says, do you think you'll ever become a Mexican citizen? Yes. Any advantages to dual citizenship? A lot of them. It makes it just a lot easier to do things. You got a second passport, in case anything happens with the first one. But yeah, it's a lot of benefits. Honestly, it's just more convenience than anything else. And then, on top of that, like if you do want to live in Mexico and let's say vote, that's great, because then, you will be able to once you're a citizen. But there are more negatives than positives. And there are some negatives as well. Like, you're really going to be on the hook for taxes and other things like that. Let me see. More questions. James says, do you have to take a driver's test if you have a U.S. driver's license? Not really. If you want to get a Mexican driver's license, then yes. In some states, like in the Yucatan, you got to go through the whole test, like back home. If you go to Mexico City, you just basically show up with a light bill, some money, and they give you a license. So it just depends. But most places, if you have a valid driver's license from anywhere, that's enough. Debbie, I think it's that. I'm going to go with Debbie. Anyways, Debbie says, I drove a motorbike in Mexico for years, no license, no insurance, vehicle not in my name. That's right. Police stopped me numerous times and nothing ever happened. That's right. That's the Mexican way, 100%. 1,000,000%. Let me see. Questions. Let's see. Anyway, salute to everybody. I'm having some grape juice. What are you guys having out there? James says, I'm already, he goes, James is asking, I'm coming up on 5 years. I've already been here over 5 years, but I don't know how that timeline works. But yeah, I don't know if I got to take a test for the citizenship test or not. I think it depends, because like for me, I got it through marriage, through family. And so because of that, then I can just simply, I might be able to just simply get it. I might not have to take a test, or I might have to take a test. I don't know. I'll let you guys know when we get there. But yeah, I'll share that experience once we get there. I'm definitely going to get my citizenship. I definitely want a Mexican passport. Honestly, I'm just kind of waiting a little bit because I got my U.S. passport still. You know what I mean? And I just use that, so I'm just waiting until I get close to the U.S. passport expiring for me to work on that. But the thing is that in order to work on that, as far as I know, it's really quick and easy. Just most things like that here are so. But we'll see. I'll focus on that next year. I think this year it's already the fourth quarter. We got a bunch of other things on our plate that we want to take care of. So we're going to wait till next year to work on citizenship. But yeah, citizenship next year, and I'm going to bring you guys on for the ride on that, okay? Let me see. Did I question? Oh, shout out to Mary Doll for the $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. By the way, I have not eaten anything all day, and this grape juice is, it's pretty grapey. So shout out to Mary. Thank you very much for the $10. Oh, okay. Mary Doll says, what area is the safest on the east coast of Mexico, close to the sea? That's a great question. Places that offer snorkeling and water skiing, etc. Great question. Where I live, that's a great question. So literally where I live, Mérida, Yucatan is the safest city in all of Mexico. And I think it's still the second safest in the Americas. I think Quebec is number one, and then number two is Mérida, Mexico. Yeah, that's right, Mexico is the safest. All right. So I would say here, if your safety is your biggest concern, I would say here. Now, when it comes for like snorkeling, water skiing, all that stuff, well, the beach is like 45 minutes away. So it's like living in Miami. A lot of people think, oh, Miami, the beach is right outside your door. It's not. Miami Beach, that's where the beach is, okay? But if you live in Miami, you're basically, 45 minutes at least, depending on traffic and other factors, to the beach. So it's the same thing here, kind of like that same logic. You're living in the city, which is not on the water. Okay, you're living in the city. So basically it's going to be like 45 minutes. So let's say that, you're into snorkeling and water skiing and all the other, water sports, which, plenty of here. They do a lot of, kite surfing, everything, anything you can imagine. Anyways, you're basically like 45 minutes, an hour's drive away, which is, that's not really a big deal. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So, and there's tons of it out here. And it's all year round. All year round, all right? So remember, so out here in Mérida, Yucatan, basically we got Cancun 3-4 hours away. But Cancun's Cancun, and then out here is more like the safe, boring, kind of area in a sense. But the beach you're looking at right there is San Crisanto, all right? Just an example, and it's like, again, an hour away, from, Mérida. Give or take, or no, not an hour. I think maybe 2 hours away. 2 hours, yeah. So yeah, look. In fact, maybe to do snorkeling or certain things, it might be a little further. It might be 2 hour drive, give or take. So I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, let me know. So let me see questions. Let's see more questions. Can I find an old-fashioned wife in Mexico? Yeah, plenty. Yeah, yes, you can. Any suggestions for orange complexion, fugitive? No. I don't even want to get into all that. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with all that. And that's going to be an interesting set of events next year. And by the way, so next year in the USA, there's political elections. Well, guess what? There's also political elections here in Mexico next year. So next year is going to be crazy when it comes for all that. So, buckle up. Because it's going to be interesting to see, because when I moved to Mexico last time, it was right in the middle, right at the end, so I forget when people vote out here, but basically I came towards the end of the elections, right before voting happened, and then AMLO became president, as far as I understand, and then boom. I've only been here under AMLO, and we're going to see who the next president's going to be. A lot of people want a similar type government as to what AMLO had, which was Morena party, which is a brand new party, which is a third party. Because Mexico, from, everything I studied, been looking into when it comes to politics, things like that, Mexico basically had a two-party system, same as the U.S., which is the pre and the pan. And so in the USA, the Democrats and the Republicans, and they each have their own, situation there. And then out here it's the pre and the pan. So the pre is basically the cartel's government, the cartels, whatever. And then the pan is the government, whatever, the neoliberal government people. And so forever it's been the pre, in power. And then recently in the last several decades, they had the pan in power. But then they realized as soon as the pan, which is again the government, they thought that was going to be better than the cartel government. But then when they came into power, like, oh, this is way worse. This is way worse. But they didn't want to go back to the cartel government. So then all of a sudden, the old representative from the cartel government, the pre, a.k.a. the old representative from the pre, which was AMLO, he said, hey, we're going to start a brand new party called Morena. And then basically he ran on that third-party system and won unanimously, a lot. And literally almost the same way Trump won during his first election. And they both was simultaneous. I mean, not simultaneous. Was it? I think so. It was No. That was, anyways, sorry. I got ahead of myself there. It was not simultaneous. Sorry. But anyways, what I was going to say is that, AMLO was looked at more like, half Trump, half Bernie Sanders, like that. And that's it. So that government, which is supposed to be a left government, which is not really left at all. It's, there's no such thing as left in Mexico. It's mostly conservative. But the most left of the conservatives, that's who won. And again, that just is bringing a lot more, social programs and, a lot of the stuff that the, Democrats and the left bring, So that's it, so that's basically, so a lot of people, they liked what Morena brought, and now they want more of it. But who knows? We have no idea. It's going to get very interesting. All right, so let's get into more questions. Sorry, I didn't mean to bore you with politics there, but just wanted to let you know what I learned, recently, when I went into that. But I don't know nothing, all right? Just like I don't know, and I don't care about U.S. politics anymore, all right? Anyways, it's a clown show. Anyways, all right. Gary Mendez says, can you just go to Mexico, or do you have to deal with immigration at a consulate before going? No, you can just go to Mexico. Listen, guys, don't millions of people come to Mexico just to vacation, just to go to Cancun or Tulum or to Acapulco or Tijuana. Listen, you just have a passport, a U.S. or Canadian passport, a European passport, and you just go to Mexico. When you get to immigration, they give you a FMM3, which is a basic regular visa, an all-around visa. But in your case, you're going to be using it as a tourist visa. But it doesn't matter. It's just a visa. And that's it. You come in and you're good to go, and that's it. You don't got to go to a consulate. The only reason that anyone out there has to, want to go to a consulate in order to get their temporary or permanent residency is someone that is, again, is very, very financially stable, has a lot of money, and can afford to just buy their, residency. And that is assuming they want to live in Mexico. So again, there's so many of you guys that still have no idea whether you want to even live in Mexico. You guys should just visit. So in order to visit, you visit like everyone else does when they go to Cancun, when they go to spring break. So, think about it, guys. How many freaking people come to Mexico for freaking spring break and they just cross the border with their passport? That's it. And everyone out there is freaking out like, I can't be in Mexico unless I get residency. For what? You don't get residency or even look into that until you've actually decided, hey, I'm going to live out here. I want to be here. All right, let's just get residency. That's it. And there's a bunch of ways to get it. And if you don't qualify with any of those ways, you can just live here on a regular basic visa, aka the FMM3, aka a tourist visa. That's it. The end. Stop freaking out, people. You know what I mean? Again, I know it's not your fault. I feel like the turn of the freaking frog's gay. No one's listening. The turn of the freaking frog's gay. Oh, jeez. Bruh. Jose, what do I think about Veracruz? Is it a good place for farming? Yeah, I don't know, but I heard it's a great place. Some people say it could be a little dangerous out there, but you know, it's great. A lot of people love it. Do you know the best place with less humidity to use for farming? I have no idea, man. I got no clue. No idea. No idea. I'm more worried about turning the gay frogs. more worried about those poor gay frogs. Anyways. Let me see. I'm scrolling up to see if I see any more questions. You know, let me put a little music on. But yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're kind of like, you know, jeez, as soon as I turn the music on, this guy wants to turn on his voice. Anyways, wants to start talking. No, but look, at the end of the day, it's like this. I mean, if you're, you know, there's multiple people that want to come to Mexico, and the reality is that a lot of people just are trying to escape their situation and just trying to find a better life. And if that's the case, that's it. You know what I mean? Just do it, okay? But for a lot of other people, you know, they were looking to retire. You know, they got, you know, a big fat pension, retirement. You know, looking to come out here and buy a home. You know, there's a lot of you guys in the audience, friends of mine. You know, we make videos together. I love you guys. You guys are in a different position. Of course, you want to get your residency. You're not looking to be going on no visa runs or anything like that, unless you're, you know, taking little mini vacations. You know what I mean? You know, but for a lot of us, you know what I mean, that, you know, we're just poor or we're just, you know, regular people. Then yeah, we just go on visa runs and that's it. You know what I mean? And it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Eventually, you'll be able to get residency, you know, without a problem. It's not, you know. But it is what it is. You know, I understand. You know, like all the information out there. You know, it's can be confusing. So anyway, shout out to everyone out there. All right. Oh, shout out! Thank you very much for the $10 in Cash App. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anonymous out there. Thank you very much. How many times can you renew your tourist visa in Mexico? Infinite amount of times. Infinite. Like I said, you know, really, like what happens is that eventually, if for whatever freaking reason, you know, you are getting close to the infinite number, then they'll just say, hey, you live here. You already have like 70 million stamps on your passport. Just go to immigration over there. You know, the office in your local city. Here's the address. And let them know that you just need your residency, and they'll give you a residency. And when you're getting your residency, they're basically like, "Oh, why are you seeking residency?" It's like, "Oh, because I live here." Oh, okay. People are like their brain goes to, like, what do you mean they'll give you a residency like that? Yeah, they will. But you know, that's assuming they don't want you to do any more visa runs, okay? But usually, you know. It's just you visa run it. You keep doing visa runs until you figure out a way to get residency. Some people have an easier way of it than others. It is what it is. So. Let me see. Shout out to everyone out there. Thank you very much. How is Mexico with business regulations? Pizza shop guy said it's the same as the U.S. I mean, it's the same when it comes to like dealing with the government in order to get your paperwork and just kind of set that up. And that's it. And depending on what part of the city you're in, you know, and where you are, you know, who you are. Sorry. Like, for example, if you're like in a downtown historical district and all these other, you know, factors, you know, it's just going to be obviously a little bit more difficult. And, you know, look, it's the same as back home, man. You got to deal with inspectors and, you know, corrupt inspectors and corrupt politicians and corrupt people in government. And sometimes it's great. It's no problem. You just easy peasy, get your paperwork, you're good to go. Boom. And sometimes it's not. And so, like, it just depends on the city, depends on the location, whatever. But it's the same as the U.S., but basically it's a million times easier, and you know, they are not as harsh or not harsh at all. They very rarely, you know, start they very rarely enforce things and things like that. So it's a lot better. It's a lot better. And I made videos on it. You should check out the playlist. By the way, go to my YouTube page and check out the section where I have playlists. I got tons of playlists about a bunch of things, topics, and there's a playlist on business, okay? And I got a bunch of videos on that. Should check that out. You and anyone else that's interested in business out here in Mexico, because trust me, how about this? Remember, I've been telling you guys for a while that I was going to have a business endeavor. Well, guess what? It just never materialized, you know? And we're back to square one. And, you know, again, I was working with a partner. Things just didn't work out. It is what it is. But now, you know, again, that's not going to happen. That didn't happen. You know, it didn't. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? It fell through. You know, for the longest time, because, you know, my Spanish is first language. You know, I thought fell through meant that it was good. But anyways, so it fell through, meaning it bad. You know, it did not work. And so now I'm like, all right, we're back to square one. And I have another business in mind, but I'm just going to be doing it. Me and Lambo. That's it. You know what I mean? And we're just going to rock it. All right, it's going to be, you know, we're going to be rocking and rolling, and it's going to be awesome, and bringing all of you guys for the ride. And hopefully we can get that going by the end of the year, because, again, I already got my game plan. I already got it all set up. Now that I'm not working on that other thing that didn't work out or pan out, boom, we're going to, you know, now I go with the other thing that I wanted to do, and you know me, and make it happen. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to go forward with that. And, yeah, you know, it is what it is, you know, no big deal. So... all right, let me see. Questions. Are there any sea turtles in the Yucatan? I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. You know, there's sea turtles, you know. There's regular turtles, too, you know. So, shout out to everyone out there. Beepity beep. Hopefully the music is not too loud. Let me know if it is. Can you get a job while you live there as an American? Yeah, just get a work visa. And also get ready to get paid Mexican wages. You know, like $10 a day. So shout out to everyone out there. Hope you guys are enjoying your night. By the way, so as we were getting closer to tonight's live stream, I was looking at my channel. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. We're about to hit 16,000 subscribers. So, man, you know what I mean? In a sense, I mean, this is, you know, 16,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Also live stream. Or let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys want me to do next week? Well, actually, no, I forgot. Next week, I have questions already that I got to answer. So, in 2 weeks, we're going to do another one of these, all right? And I guess we'll celebrate 16,000 then, all right? Yeah, because next week I already got questions I got to answer. Like I usually do Thursday afternoons. You know, I'm not going to give you the whole spiel right now. You guys already know. I don't want to bore you guys. We're just hanging out tonight. So shout out to everyone out there. John Landis says, how do you stay away from the drug cartels? Easy. They just stay away from you. How's that, all right? So don't worry about it. You know, they don't want anything to do with when they need dumb gringos out there. 100%. So, you know, as long as you're not, you know, directly involved with them, you know what I mean? You got nothing to worry about. In 2 weeks, you'll reach 17K. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. In fact, I think some weird stuff has been going on with my channel lately. I don't know what's going on, but someone out there, you know, is doing something. You know what I mean? Where, you know, they're promoting my videos and pushing my videos out there because a bunch of random videos, you know, keep getting a bunch of random views, you know. I see it in the analytics and it just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know who's doing it out there, but you know, how about this? I would rather you spend that money or whatever it is you're doing out there on a donation to the show than that. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a good thing necessarily for the algorithm, give or take, but who knows? Maybe it's some haters out there that know it might not be a good thing and they're just doing it. You know, you never know these days. But some weird shit's going on. Definitely some weird stuff's going on to the channel. But on the other hand, you know, another thing that's going on is that the channel is also growing a lot. And it seems because it's the content I'm making. So I'm going to continue making a lot more of the same content. And I'm going to be bringing you new content and just keep testing the waters and seeing if, you know, some of the new content sticks or not. But I know that you guys are enjoying the real estate videos, so we're going to be doing more of those. What else? We're also going to be doing, whatever. Yeah, just like the videos that you guys like are the ones I'm going to keep making, all right? I'm not going to be making videos that are not getting views. You know what I mean? There's no point to that, At the end of the day, you guys want to look forward, to a show, to a video, just like I like looking forward to certain, YouTubers or content creators out there to have a show. So, I sometimes I don't watch it if it's not good or it's not something I want to watch. So, that's something that I have to take into account as well. And again, also have to take into account that I want to make things that I want to make and they're going to be good. So, all right, number one, Dad says, do you know any good private schools for elementary school age and I have no idea. But I know there's a lot of amazing schools out there. Everything from like homeschooling groups to the best private schools you can buy to regular private schools to public schools. All the schools are pretty great as far as I know. So let me see. Shout out to everyone out there. The music. Let me just keep the music in the background, I guess. Hopefully it's not. If the music is overpowering out there, let me know. But, today is a little bit of a preemptive celebration of 16,000 subscribers. Because, I can't believe we already got the 16,000 subscribers. Basically, every single month, we're hitting close to 1,000 subscribers. So, what social media do I use for I don't use social media for one-on-one consulting. If you want to do a one-on-one consulting with me, I do Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, things like that. Just a video call, like a Zoom call. Rebecca Rogers says, absolutely, there are sea turtles in the Yucatan. Oh, there you go. We witnessed a hatching in, there you go, in San Crisanto. Right? Oh, literally, okay, the beach, literally where the beach that you're looking at right now, they witnessed sea turtle hatching. Yeah, that was my prediction. I figured that there would be because they're all over the Gulf and they're all over the whole area. We had tons of turtles, sea turtles and tortoises in Florida. So I wouldn't see why not here. I think that they have tortoises out here too. Again, it wouldn't surprise me. Thank you for clarifying that, Rebecca. Much appreciated. Shout out to you. Any questions? So anyways, yeah, repeat the question. If there's anyone out there that wants a question answered and I did not answer it. Oh, well, there you go. Who has the best rotisserie chicken, Chedraui or Soriana? I don't know, man. I don't buy the rotisserie chicken from them. You know why? Because they have so many small mom and pop stores, that sell only rotisserie chicken or rotisserie chicken and a few other things. But anyways, long story short, whenever you get to Mexico, just find your local rotisserie chicken place and buy from them or ask around and you'll get it. And they deliver it to you, all right? And it's just a few more pesos, but it's a million times better because one time I made the mistake of buying one of those chickens from the supermarket and it was just so subpar to the one that you actually, get from the small mom and pop. I was like, it's not worth it, isn't it? Forget that. I'd rather just call and have them bring it over here, anytime. Well, not anytime. Depends on the store. Some close a little earlier than others. But yeah, long story short, just get your rotisserie chicken from your regular, rotisserie chicken guy. All right? So hopefully that helps. Is the Gulf of Mexico full of plastic? Not that I know of. I know there's pollution. I know there's plastic out there, but it's not, it's fine. Hi, Jose. Do you think you will always live in Merida, or do you think you might possibly move to another part of Mexico? If so, what would you consider? Lots of sea turtles hatch in Puerto Vallarta. Honestly, I love it here. The reason I love it here is because I'm born and raised in Miami, and that's where I spent most of my life. And then this is the closest it feels to home. The weather, the way of life on certain aspects. I like it here. Plus it's very Caribbean. Again, I'm Cuban, so I can get my Caribbean, ingredients. There's a lot of Caribbean influence. The local cuisine of the Yucatecan people, again, also very close to a lot of the food that I grew up with as a Cuban. So I just, I like it. Here, yeah. Sorry, it's a long day. My back, my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. Actually, I'm just showing you guys my tie-dye. No, but long story short, yeah, I like it out here. Who knows? You know what I mean? I might live in another spot. Where I'm definitely going to be visiting other spots. You know what I mean? We talked about that before. You know, I think I'll set that up in the future. I know you guys, you know, we talked about, you know, doing some future trip. That you know, again, I was going to do like a GoFundMe so that you guys can, what is it, like, donate in order for me and Christian to take a trip. And then, you know, the trip is more like a work trip. You know, like, yeah, we're going to have fun and enjoy it. But, you know, obviously, you know, we're there to make content for you guys. But yeah, you know, sponsor a trip to some parts of Mexico. So anyways, we briefly touched on that last live stream. And, you know, we'll talk about that more in the future, right? We're just not going to do it now. We're just, you know, Christian's right now teaching at the local university, at the art university. You know, I got a bunch of things I'm trying to get, you know, going. So, you know, eventually, you know, once we got a little time opening up, you know, we'll explore that again. And, you know, for sure, you know what I mean? If you guys are still down for that, we'll do that, you know, 100%. Because you already know, I can't afford a trip right now. So, you know, 100%. If you guys are down, you know, to do that, yeah, we'll do that in a few months. Let me see. Will you do political analysis for the next Mexican election? I mean, you know, honestly, you know, believe it or not, there's actually a law, you know, that prohibits foreigners to talk about politics in Mexico. So I'm not even going to get into that. And, you know, Mexico is notorious for people getting killed for talking about politics, and no thank you. You know what I mean? I'll briefly touch on it and talk about it like I did today. You know, we can kind of go, you know, I'll give you an overview, you know, kind of bullshit like that, but I'm not gonna get deep down and dirty like I do with other topics, you know, because I'm not that stupid, you know what I mean? So but for sure, yeah, we'll touch on it because it's gonna be a major thing coming up, and it's gonna affect everybody, including, you know, anyone that wants to live in Mexico. So seriously, 100%. So for sure, I will talk about it, and you know, we'll, you know, give you like some, you know, overview of the whole situation, and really, you know what I mean? Honestly, it's not going to be until after probably the election, you know, whenever that is, where I'll talk more about what's coming, what to expect, you know, from that and all that stuff. So, you know, we'll go from there. It's going to be interesting though. So, can you explain what sargassum is? Yeah, basically you see that brown stuff that's on the beach. So you see how the beach is nice, and then there's like that seaweed, that kind of dry seaweed on the beach. That's what it is. That's it. The end. It's not gonna kill you. Just, you know, if you don't want to step on it, just step over it. You know, that's it. Every beach has it. You know, for the most part, as far as I know, every beach, you know, has it. So simple as that. It's not, you know, it's nature. It's okay. You'll be all right. Again, please let me know if the music is bothering anybody. Let me know if it's too, you know. Can you use your cell phone in Mexico? Yeah. If it's from the United States, yeah, you can. Yeah. You know, just make sure with your cell phone carrier that you're going to Mexico, in case, because some cell phone plans already have Mexico and Canada included, but in case they don't, just call them. Let them know you want to go to Mexico, you want to call in Mexico, whatever, and then it might be like an extra $5 to your plan or whatever it is. So you'll be fine. What's up app? I don't know what that is. You mean WhatsApp? You mean is that what you mean? WhatsApp? I don't know what what's up is. I mean, is that you mean WhatsApp? Shout out to you, Mary. Foreign residents can be deported for talking poorly about Mexican politicians or involved in protests. Not likely to happen, but yeah, that is the law. Yeah, exactly, RJ. So yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, no thanks. New phone, who dis? Shout out to Lodak. Shout out to you out there. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Well, since the last time, but you know, shout out to you. Give everybody a little super OG. The OGs of the OGs. Anyways. Talking about the local chicken rotisseries, Always get las papas, the potatoes. They cook under the spits with the juice drippings down. Yes, correct. Yes, yeah, so basically, yeah, you know what I mean? A lot of these rotisserie chicken places, they're only going to sell rotisserie chicken, you know, maybe some potatoes, maybe a little salad, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever, like, you know, just a few accoutrements, you know, to go with your chicken, you know, so you're not eating that, you know, that raw dog in that chicken, you know? But long story short, yeah, you know, always, you know, try everything, you know what I mean? And you'll be pleasantly surprised most of the time. He goes, oh yeah, Metro by T-Mobile is only $5 more for the Mexican service. Yeah, there you go. That's it. You know, once you get to Mexico, you know, let's say you want to live here, yada, yada, yada. Then at that point, then you get yourself a Mexican cell phone service. You can still use your US phone and just put a Mexican SIM card with a Mexican, you know what I mean? Mexican phone number. And then instead of paying $70 a month, you'll be paying like $15 a month. Now, the one thing is that make sure that before you come to Mexico that your Verizon phone, your, you know, AT&T phone, your whatever phone, that it's jailbroken, you know, or what is it? Or open, or what's the word I'm looking for? So that way, you know, it's actually, you know, they can do that. They can work in Mexico because some phones are locked and you want your phone to be unlocked, right? I think that's what it is. How and where can I find English-speaking expats in Mérida? Oh, easy. You know, just simply, you know, just simply go into the local expat groups. You know, go on Facebook and, you know, go into, you know, expat groups and then ask around there. You know, there's places like the Mérida English Library. There's other local expat, you know, kind of places, you know, like... I don't know what else. What else is out there? I don't know. Hey, can some of you guys, can some of you guys in the chat help me out there? But I mean, I know the Mérida English Library is a big spot. I don't know what else. What else is out there? The best the best neighborhoods in Mérida for expats. You know, it just depends on you. You know, it just depends on what you're into. So I do a lot of videos on a lot of the neighborhoods, and then, you know, just basically take a look at them, see what neighborhood you like. But the advice I like to give a lot of people is that come out to Mexico, whatever part of Mexico, and live in an Airbnb for a month or 2 months. You know, maybe spend the 1 month in one neighborhood, another month in another neighborhood, and things like that. And then just get a feel for the different neighborhoods in the area, and then whatever, you know, that you choose the neighborhood that best fits you, because there's a lot of neighborhoods and they're not all for everybody. Like, I love being close to downtown, close to the center, but I don't want to live in the center. Some people want to live in the center. They love living there. You know, some people want to live in the north, you know. Some people want to live in a privada, like a housing development, you know. Other people don't. Other people want to live in a more rural area, you know, so they'll be living 30 minutes outside the city in a little pueblo. So it just depends, you know. There's like a lot of choices. It just, you know, it's going to depend on you, what you're looking for. So thank you everyone in the chat for helping me out with the unlocked cell phone. So just make sure that your phone is unlocked and you'll be fine. You know, you'll be able to stick in a Mexican SIM card. I highly suggest you go with Telcel. They're the best ones, you know, the best coverage. And that's it. Yeah, you'll be all right. Okie dokie, artichoke. I'm reading the chat right now, so... Oh, how much should I be tipping the guy who pumps my gas at Pemex? Depends, you know what I mean? I give him like 10 pesos, you know what I mean? You know, whatever change you got, you know what I mean? You can do whatever you want. You can do 20 pesos, that's a lot, you know? You could do 10 pesos, that's average. It basically depends on what they do, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you go to the gas station and they're doing a bunch of things, you know, they're doing the windshields, they're filling your tires, you know, they're cleaning your tires, you're filling your tank. All right, you know, give them 20 pesos, whatever. But if you're just going in there to put in, you know, like 20 bucks of gas, you know what I mean? Yeah, 5 pesos, you know, whatever change you got, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. So it just, you know, but I always give them somewhere around the 10 peso range, you know, 11, 8, pesos, whatever I got, and they love me, you know what I mean? Every time they see me, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Jose, whatever, so. And not just them, you know, but, you know, a lot of people, you got to kind of tip around like that. But that's what I tip, you know. I don't go above and beyond that. Again, depending, you know, if I'm feeling extra generous that day, yeah, whatever, I'll give them 20 pesos, you know, what have you. But for the most part, I keep it around the 10 peso range, you know, somewhere like, you know, like I said. Because a lot of Mexicans give even less than that, like 5 pesos or less sometimes. If anything at all. You give the, you know what I'm saying? Well, I think I already explained that one. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like the whole tip situation, you know, it's not, you know, you're gonna find that when you go and do groceries in some grocery stores, you're gonna find like older people bagging your groceries. You know, give them a tip. You know, when you are walking out to your car and you're in the parking lot, you know, there are going to be a bunch of old people there, or a bunch of workers there as well. They're directing traffic so that you guys don't have accidents in the parking lot. You know, they're taking back the carts. You know, they might be helping you out with the groceries if you want, whatever. You can tip them accordingly as well. But everybody tips them. Everybody tips them, okay? No matter how poor you are, because sometimes I've been with my handyman, you know, and you can't get any more poor than him. You know, he's in the same position as the guy asking for the tip, and he tips the guy. All right, so if he tips him, you better tip him. All right. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Lodak with the Cash App donation, with a Cash App tip, the tippity tip. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the very generous donation, sir. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Oh, there you go. David's naming a few places in Merida, besides the Merida English Library. And I'm sorry I don't know any more places. Which cell phone carrier? I already said, yeah, but Telcel. I think Telcel is the best one. They have the most coverage, the most everything. And then I don't know which has the best coverage in Mexico. I don't know if it's of American. I don't know if it's T-Mobile or Verizon. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Lodak. Shout out to you. Is 20 pesos for a street taco a good price? Yeah, that's a good price. That's the average price. You know, the reality is that, you know, again, prices have gone up, okay? And 20 pesos is still cheap. Some places even more. If you can get it a little cheaper, you know, let's say a 15 peso taco, 17 peso taco, that's great. But be wary, you know what I mean? If you're getting like a 5 peso taco, you know, make sure there's dogs around, okay? If there's no dogs or cats around, you know, you never know. But long story short, you know what I mean? The cheaper the taco, you know, the cheaper the meat, okay? But average price for a taco these days is you know, around 20 pesos, you know? 10 pesos and above is still good and might be good quality still, okay? 15 pesos average, 17, you know, give or take, 13, you know, things like that. So anything above 10 pesos is good. Anything below 10 pesos, be careful. But again, you might be able to find a place with 5 peso tacos and they're amazing, and you know, they won't kill you in the bathroom. So Serge says, how often does that happen, that after 6 months on a tourist visa, people are getting rejected at the entrance? Never. Never, ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever, 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 ever. If you're a U.S. or Canadian citizen, never, ever, 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 ever. Again, you got to do like some major crime in which you're banned, and you're probably going to be arrested anyway. You know, you're not going to be making no visa trip or whatever. But no, long story short, they're never. They're never going to reject you. Why would they reject you? There's nothing. I mean, like, for reals, you know? So there's absolutely zero reason for anyone to get rejected in immigration. It doesn't make any sense. I know that a lot of people talk about that you know it happened, that you know I don't know why, I don't even know where people get this information and why there's so many people spreading misinformation, but you just don't. You know what I mean? Like, again, you're a rich tourist. That's how they're gonna look at you. It doesn't matter if you're poor as hell. You know what I mean? They're looking at you like it's just a rich American, a rich Canadian. Why the hell would they ever reject you? If they don't reject the 160 plus, you know, countries represented, okay? Anyways, if they don't if they don't turn back any of the other immigrants from the 160 plus countries represented that are crossing the border and trying to make it all the way to the U.S. border, why are they going to reject you? A rich gringo, a rich American, a rich Canadian, a rich European? Why would they reject you? You can do infinite, like I've said many times, you can do infinite, you know, visa runs. They don't have any legal recourse or any legal stance or there's no law, there's no nothing that says that they can even reject you. You know what I mean? So there's nothing. There's no precedent to even go on that. In fact, can anyone out there name anyone or have a case? Because, you know, you hear all these stories, right? But where has there ever been, like, for example, like, think about it. Think about it like this, logically. Let's go logic, all right? Let's use that common sense, all right? So let's just say that all of a sudden, right, you, an American, all right, are coming to Mexico, all right, and you're crossing through, you know, the Mexico City airport, you're going through immigration, and they reject you at immigration, and that forces you to have to go back and find a way to get on a plane out of there, right? Wouldn't you be under a lot of distress? Wouldn't you probably film the whole thing? Wouldn't you make a scene? Wouldn't you basically try to, okay, yeah, and wouldn't everyone find out about it? Okay, so I need one of those videos, all right? Just one. Can anyone out there produce one of those videos? No, they can't. So, no, okay? So, I'll leave it there. So yeah, a lot of people, you know, they don't do research, you know, they simply just don't even, you know, they just take a lot of what's out there, you know, unfortunately, as law. I'm glad, you know, or as, you know, like the truth. You know, I'm glad that a lot of people come out here and ask me these questions and talk. We get to talk about these topics, but you know, sometimes it's as simple as, like, you know, just simple logic. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, why would they reject you? There's no reason. You can literally, again, your reason for coming to Mexico when you're at the border doing your visa run is just, yeah, I live in Mexico. Oh, sir, how come you haven't applied for residency yet? Oh, it's just because I can't afford it. I don't qualify financially, and I'm not married, or I don't qualify through any of the other means yet. And they're like, oh, okay, no problem. 180 days. Thank you very much, sir. Bye. And you can do that infinite amount of times. Like, you know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. All right. Like, again, you know, because again, the FMM3, that is the visa everybody gets. That is a blank visa. That is a multi-purpose visa that is used for people that live here, okay, without a residency visa, or maybe you're using it to travel as a tourist, okay, or other reasons, okay? But long story short, you know, most people use it only as a tourist visa. And they say, oh, we're going on a visa run, a tourist visa run. Okay, but the reality is that no, all you're doing is just, you got to renew your visa. And the only way, you know, for most people to renew their visa is that you got to, you know, get on one side of the border and then go back to the other side of the border. That's it. That's it. And in many cases these days, depending on the state that you're in, you can hire a professional to renew your visa at the local immigration office legally. So, you know. You don't even, again, assuming you don't want to do a visa run and you can afford the comfort, because it costs money, obviously, you know, you can afford the comfort of having that service done for you, because you better believe that the Mexican immigration office is going to charge you for that, because it's a convenience. Oh, it's okay. You don't have to go to the immigration office. No, you just go across the border. For some people, that's a cheaper option. Let's say you're in the Yucatan. I got plenty of friends that just basically get on a bus. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's very cheap. Anyone out there can help me out with the prices there. But anyways, you know, it's like less than $50, all right, for a trip to the border. You know, get your visa, you know, what is it? Get your visa renewed, you know, get a meaning, step out of the country, and then come back into the country and get a brand new visa, and then just, get the bus and take it back. You're good to go. The end. So I hope that helps. You know what I mean? But it's just, becomes more difficult to do the visa runs if you're like in Puebla, because you're like in the middle of the country on top of a mountain, things like that. Oh, we got Christian in the chat. Shout out to Christian. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. But anyways, I don't know who asked that question. Somebody asked. Anyway, somebody asked that a question about ejido land. So long story short, yeah, anything that's under ejido, you cannot buy or sell. It literally belongs to the people. It is government land that is given to people to run. So basically, let's say that you're living in a pueblo, a village, a town. There's a lot of ejido land in which everybody is in charge of. And what do they do with that ejido land? A lot of times they do it for growing food, for grazing animals, and a bunch of other things. But it's, again, community land that belongs to everybody. That's why you can't buy or sell it. So there's a lot of people out there that are trying to buy or sell, basically sell you ejido land, and just know that you cannot buy. Again, they'll go through the whole process of whatever, but when you're going to finally register, you're really willing, hey, this is my land. No, it's not. No, it's not. Sorry, sir. So just make sure, that you, the only property that you or anyone can buy in Mexico is, you ready for this? Hold on, we need to, hold on, I gotta get the, hold on. No, where's hold on, I gotta get the right sound effect. That's what I'm looking for here. Okay, there we go, okay. There we go. The only land that anyone can buy in Mexico, period, end of story, is private land. That's it. Private. Private land, private property. That's it. That's it. The end. Okay, so just remember that. So if anyone's offering you any other kind of land, just walk away. Okay? The only thing you can buy is private property, private land. From one entity, one owner to another owner. Yes, that owner can be the government in some cases, okay? Or a corporation, whatever. It doesn't matter. But ejido land does not belong to a single entity. It belongs to multiple people, like a lot of people. And under law, none of those people and no one, not even, they can sell it. In some rare cases, all of those people can get together and maybe sell the land and do some sort of whatever. But even then, it's like, again, get a whole community together to sell the land. So yeah, again, anything that you hear about ejido, get away from it, far away, as far as you can. All right, just private land, private property, the end. Can you get married on a tourist visa in Mexico? Yes, that's how you get married. I got married on a tourist visa. That's it. Again, it's not the tourist visa. Remember, it's an FMM3, just a blank, basic, multi-purpose visa. Okay, so whenever anyone says tourist visa, it's really a multi-purpose visa. You just happen to be here as a tourist or a resident. Okay, but long story short, yes, of course, yes, you can get married on a tourist visa. Is prostitution legal in Mexico? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, next question. Jose, what documents do you need to open a bank account? Great question. I made a video on that where I'm more specific on everything, but long story short, the only thing you need to open up a bank account is, number one, temporary or permanent residency. So you do need residency. So you need residency. Number two, a passport, U.S. passport, or whatever passport from whatever country. Okay, so your passport, your residency, and last, you need a CFE bill, which is your light bill. The electric bill, the light bill does not have to be in your name. It's just the address where you're living. So it's in the owner's name that's renting the place to you, the landlord, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's all you need. And the last thing you need is you need a Mexican phone, or a phone that can accept a Mexican app that, again, the bank can download. So you need to download a special bank app. Each bank has their app. And then that app has like a special code and key. They're very high in security out here when it comes to all that. So anyways, and then that app connected to your bank account, that's how you deal with the bank. And that's it. Now, yes, there are rare cases and there are people out there that do have bank accounts without the app, but I do not recommend it. Especially most people these days, that's, you can't live without that app, or the banking. I mean, it's very convenient. So anyways, but long story short, that's maybe like the one thing that's like, that most people don't talk about. You need a Mexican phone or a phone that can accept a Mexican app. So anyways, a phone, the CFE bill, your passport, and residency. Okay, temporary or permanent residency. That's it. Now, yes, there are certain banks out there like Intercam in which just a FMM3 is enough for you to open up a bank account with them. But again, that bank is extremely limited and again, not recommended for really day-to-day banking if that's what you're looking for. Okay? So see, Debbie, the thing is that the reality is that once you're okay, so Debbie says not all banks will allow you to open an account with temporary residency. Most want a permanent. The thing is that, look, under the banks, okay, that's why you got to go to the website and speak Spanish. But under the banks, whatever, they're what have you, and under the law, as a resident, they cannot deny you. Okay, so by law. Okay, and by the bank's bylaws, okay, so not just law, but by the Mexican bylaws, they cannot deny you the bank account, okay? They have to give you the bank account. What happens is that once you're in Mexico, you'll find out how it works, because I'm sure it's already happened to you. Mexican people, whether on purpose or not, have a lot of misinformation as well. So it's happened to me. I remember when I went to, okay, anyways, it happened to me. So basically, you go to the bank. All right. And, you go to the front teller, that gets paid like $10 a day, if that. And then that person, she's just there to push a button and give you a little paper, to wait your turn, your number, right? And basically you say, hey, I'm here to open up a bank account. Okay. And then you'll be like, oh, okay. You're a Mexican citizen or you're a foreigner. I was like, oh, I'm a foreigner. And then they just won't know. You know what I mean? They'll just simply assume, no, yeah, you can't open up a bank account. Or they'll just think whatever. But long story short, how it works is that you got to confront these people, not aggressively or mean, but just simply say, hey, look, I know, okay, that I can open up a bank account. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Can I speak to your manager? Can I speak to the representative that opens up bank accounts? That's it. And then just say, hey, I'm here to open up a bank account. And if for whatever reason the bank manager is not helping you out, you simply say, look, it says right here, the BBVA bylaws, whatever, that this is all I need to open up a bank account as a foreigner. It says it right here. Now, if at that point they don't want to open up a bank account, again, you can complain, call the BBVA, whatever. They're not going to care. Throw a fit, your thing. They're not going to help you. They don't want to help you. Remember, it's Mexico. They're free to do whatever they want, freedom. But long story short, most of the time, by the time if you get to that point, they'll be like, oh, okay, boom, and then they'll open up the bank account. They'll go, and again, not just the bank account, but many things, okay? Many other things like that. You might have to go through that and push it. But again, if for whatever reason you're pushing and you're already at that point where you're not going to be able to push any further, then you know what you do? You leave the bank and you go to another bank. The end. That's it. Done deal. But long story short, if you confront the manager or some of the people that are in charge of opening up bank accounts, they want you, okay? Trust me, they want you, okay? So that's why, Sometimes you got to break through that first barrier through entry, which is the teller, that person at the front that doesn't know anything. They just don't. Just like I was talking about earlier with the people that were welding and helping me fix the, my thing out there. It's the same thing. Sometimes it's just, lack of education, or lack of knowledge or lack of many things, all right? So, Lodex says, am I still able to get silver from the bank? No. Honestly, they've made it so difficult these days, They make it difficult. They made it so difficult right now. You know what I mean? Just because of so many reasons. But long story short, I have, every time I go to the bank these days, they don't have any silver. And now the only bank that does have silver, they get it from their own mint in Mexico City. I gotta, like, the minimum purchase is like almost, how much? Oh yeah, the minimum purchase is almost like, hold on, like $15,000. That's crazy, right? So, how do you invest in the Mexican stock market? I have no idea. But the Mexican crypto market is actually more active than the stock market, if you can believe that. So, which is kind of crazy, right? But, well, I don't know how it is right now, but, you know, it usually is. Can you transfer from your U.S. bank to the Mexican bank? Yes, yeah, all the time. Yeah. In fact, hold on. Let me show you guys here. Great question. So yes, you know, a one way to do it. There's multiple ways to do it, but one of the ways, you know, once you get your Mexican bank account, you know, you get your money deposited into your U.S. bank account, and then you go to a website or a money transfer thing like Wise. I use Wise. They you know, they're quick, they're great, fast, you know, whatever. But there's a bunch of them. Anyways, you go through Wise, and basically you connect your bank accounts. That's it, and then you just simply send money to yourself, and that's it. Whenever I get paid, that's what I do. I just send it back to myself, and that's it. See? The end. Easy peasy. All right, Mary Doll 99. Yeah, I forgot. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast right now. It is 8 p.m. here in Mérida, Yucatan. In Mexico, it's 8 p.m. All of Mexico. Actually, there's a few spots. Oh, shout out to John with a $10 PayPal. Woo woo! Shout out to John with a $10 PayPal. Hold on, gotta get that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lodak. Lodak, you know, what is it? He gets residuals off every hat that I sell. I don't sell any hats. Bruh. Anyways, shout out to Lodak. Any more questions? We got questions. Yeah, I guess let's put some music on while we wait for more questions to jump. You know, to ask. You know, I'm running dry. I woke up really early today. Really tired. I'm waking up earlier and earlier every day. Well, not earlier and earlier, but I'm saying I used to wake up a little later. I'm waking up a lot earlier now because I'm trying to get back in game shape. You know, trying to, you know, work out, get exercise. I'm training Gizmo, you know, and walking him every single morning. So I'm just like every morning, no matter how much dragging ass I'm doing, I go and walk Gizmo, and it helps. It helps get this day started. But you know, with that being said, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, you start getting tired on certain days, especially like today. Today was a very hectic day, to say the least. How do you like the autobus? I never been on the autobus, but I've been on similar buses. You know, like the one that takes you to the beach and other things like that. And they're great. They're great. So honestly, yeah, you know what I mean? One day I'll get on one of those buses. I'll film it, you know? But I never... That's right. Lodak gets one Doge. One Doge. Nah, it's not that little, man. I'll give you one Doge per. All right. But anyways, Wise, you know, is one of the good ways to like send money. You see. I should reach out to them and like, hey, you guys, want to do a paid partnership video? Can show people how to ride the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Look at that. We got Sergey with the hard-hitting questions. How was the government of the Yucatan able to reduce the violent crime, homicide so much? Well, they never had violent crime and homicides here, so they never reduced it. It never got, the place never got dangerous. It never got as bad as other parts. The reality is like this, the real reason why there's a lot of violence and there's a drug war, you know what I mean, has more to do with the U.S. than anything else, but I don't want to get into all that. The reality is that drug war is more on the border, okay, and in other areas, and if you look at the map, or if you even look at the, how they move product from Central America to the USA, this is nowhere near, this is closer to Cuba than it is to the drug routes. You know what I mean? So the reality is that for never, ever really, outside of Cancun, this area was never really like crazy violent, and they just remained safe because honestly, they just, as things got crazier in Mexico, they just, got safer here. More police, more security, more everything. So from everyone that I talked to that has visited many other parts of Mexico or driven through other parts of Mexico, they've told me that, the security here is, excessive to say the least, or very a lot compared to most other parts of Mexico. So as you're entering the Yucatan state, there's checkpoints and police, and as all along, when you get here, once you get to the city of Merida, there's checkpoints, there's police, they're everywhere. Again, if you're a gringo, you're whatever, you just go through, but they're making sure that, again, if you got a tag that is from any other part of Mexico, oh boy, it's might not be good for you. But if you're coming with a Michigan tag, a Texas tag, yeah, they just wave you right through. If you're a Yucatecan tag, a local tag, they wave you right through. But yeah, they're, and there's a reason, there's a reason for that. Again, it's just all about influence. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that they're the influence and not anybody else. So, and again, they say, why are the cartels not really operating here? I really don't know. I think they operate everywhere, but I think here more than anything else, it's more like it's just simply, again, there's no value here. There's nothing going on here. You know what I mean? More the action's on the border. The action is in other areas, as they're trying to get it from point A to point B. Follow what I'm saying? That's it. And if they're getting from Cancun, up in that same direction, again, they're not coming through here. Why would they come through here? It doesn't make sense. It's probably better to go through the jungle, right? So, but that's it. I mean, I think it's simply that. I think it's a lot more to do with that than anything else. So, but and again, this part of Mexico as well is also just pretty chill. Other parts of Mexico, they're not as chill. I don't know if that makes any sense. So that also helps. There's multiple reasons. Back to the music. Got Jose and Lambo here answering all your hard-hitting questions. Let me see. I think we're gonna do. How long are we done already today? Oh wow. All right, we gotta do at least. All right, a little longer. Any more questions? Any more topics you want me to talk about? Otherwise, we're gonna have to, come on, people, make some stuff up. I need to talk about something. Cream cheese on my bagel? Yes, I like cream cheese on my bagel. I haven't had a bagel with cream cheese in forever. No, that is not Bullseye. I don't know who that is. I never heard of that. No, it's not. That's Lambo. Okay? I don't know who you're talking about. There's Lambo. Okay? That's Lambo. Don't hurt, please. You're hurting his feelings. Please refrain yourself from insulting the poor horse. Okay? He knows he looks like that horse that shall not be named. All right? But that's not him. Okay? Please don't hurt his feelings. His name is Lambo, and he's Mexican, okay? Even though he doesn't speak Spanish. All right, he's backwards. Poor guy. He's a rescue horse. I rescued him. Remember, guys? Remember, he's a rescue horse. Someone threw him out. His previous owner didn't want him, and I adopted him. So shout out to Lambo. Oh, number one dad asked, if you need to call the police, is it still 911? Yes, it is. That is a great question. That's a great question. Yes, it's still 911. Yes. Let me see. Soriana sells frozen bagels. They do? The frozen section is so small, and that I just never go to the frozen section anymore. I only buy like one thing in the frozen section, which is bags of frozen vegetables. Because that's like a quick side dish to a meal. Sometimes you just get a bag of frozen vegetables. Like a mix, whatever. A little butter, salt, pepper. Boom, you're good to go. But that's the only thing I grab there. You know what I mean? I don't grab ice cream because it's so freaking hot that it'll melt by the time I get home. So even though I'm like 5-minute drive from the house, but I don't risk it. I rather just get ice cream from the ice cream store that's a block down my block. And I shouldn't be eating ice cream anyway. But long story short, but yeah, I didn't know they have frozen bagels. Really? Yeah, I am not from New York, bro. I'm from the East Coast, so But long story short, yeah, I'm not a big bagel guy. I just, actually, you know what I would rather have? I mean, a bagel's all right with some cream cheese, but I would rather have an English muffin. I have not had an English muffin in a million years. I would love that. How long a drive is it to Mexico City? I don't know. I'll tell you right now. Uno segundo, por favor. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, I should be showing you guys, right? Okay. So it is that long. 18-hour drive. Just one highway. Take it straight there. In fact, I think David and Rebecca went down that same highway, right? So David, Rogers, and I did a video, they talked about it more. Is crypto taxable in Mexico? I think so, but it's taxed at the moment of like purchase and sale. So you don't gotta worry there. But if you're getting into crypto, you shouldn't be asking anything about taxation. But what do I know, all right? Oh, Sergey, that is a great question. I actually made a whole video on it. I'll put the video in the chat, and you can watch that video once this video is done. So, so Sergey is asking, what are the best places to go to, or how do I find cheap rentals, whatever, yada yada yada. So I made a video on that, and there's also a Facebook group, a local Facebook group if you're interested in that. I'll provide that right now. Why mozzarella cheese in Mexico so bad? Honestly, I don't know. But to tell you the truth, it doesn't matter, because what I would recommend you guys have is Oaxaca cheese. Basically, Oaxaca cheese is Mexican version of mozzarella. And, there's a lot of people that make it fresh, so you can get it freshly made, or you can just buy it at the store. But that's in fact, once I discovered this, I don't care about mozzarella. All I use is Oaxaca cheese. It's so far superior, and it's healthier. It's literally, made fresh, and it's readily available in most of Mexico, as far as I know. But Oaxacan cheese, That is go-to. If you need mozzarella or any meltable cheese, you know, that's really great and awesome, that's it. No, not manchego. Not manchego. No, 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 no. No, what are you doing, number one dad? No. No, no, that's something else. Oaxaca. Manchego's all right. You know, manchego's, don't even get me started on all that, bro. But I would highly recommend Oaxaca cheese. Queso Oaxaca. Oh, wow. We got Jill. We got Jill Stein. With the, what's it, how much? $15. $15 in Cash App. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I'm not a fan of manchego. That's it. The flavor, the taste. It's not mozzarella, you know. And like I said, if you're gonna get anything close to mozzarella, it will be Oaxaca. But again, hey, everybody, you know, we all have a different taste. We'll have whatever. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. I'm not a fan. Manchego is only good for sandwiches. That's it. No, now you got Gizmo all riled up. Poor Gizmo. It's all right, man. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. It's okay. He likes manchego. A lot of people like manchego. Come on. It's okay. Relax. Poor Gizmo. But yeah. And again, in manchego in the Yucatan is not real manchego. That's just like, you know, like some shit cheese, you know, just regular cheese, you know, some really weird cheese. If you want real manchego, that's another story. It tastes very different. Very good. The real manchego is more like a hard cheese, but very good. But anyways, 18 hours to drive to Mexico City. That cheese sucks because the Yucatan broke their direct relationship with Europe. Yes, exactly. So like any kind of like you know, manchego that you're getting out there is fake manchego. You know, back in the day, they used to have a closer relationship with Europe, you know, Spain mainly, and they used to be able to get like real manchego really cheap here all the time. But now, you know, manchego is expensive specialty item. You know what I mean? And you can get it, you know, it's out there, but it's, you know, it's not, it's like, you know, it's an imported cheese, you know, in a place where they have no cheese. So Kent Brosh says, what is the closest airport in Mérida? Well, there's only one airport, and that's Mérida International Airport. That's it. Just one airport. And it's in the middle, it's in the southern part of the city, but it's you know, it's like 15 minutes to the center of the city, okay? But Mead, M-I-D, you know, mid. So Mérida International Airport. All right. What are you guys drinking at this little poll? What are you guys? I'm drinking some grape juice. Some Welch's grape juice has been sitting out for a while. Kind of fermented a bit. Shout out to everyone out there. But yeah, for anyone out there that has, you know, how many new viewers do we have at the moment? And new viewers, or I think everybody's been watching from the beginning. But let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of running dry here. Let me see. How is the new place and neighborhood? Well, we've been living here for years already, so we love it. Rosh says, do you think Mexico will ever become a cashless society? No. You know, maybe in 100 years or something. I don't know. I doubt it, though. Many banks in Australia are going cashless. Yeah, many places around the world are going cashless, but many are not. And making it hard for people, you know, it's making it hard for people to get their money out, and you know. But yeah, I understand the fear. of cashless society and all that digital everything. But no way, not in Mexico. And Mexico, has the richest silver reserves in the world. And honestly, everyone can be talking about what their theories on everything going forward. What they think is going to happen. But my honest opinion, I think that when it's all said and done, we're going to go back to a gold and silver standard. And, we're going to have crypto. We're going to be using things like Bitcoin, Monero, whatever, crypto. We're also going to be using currencies. I think the world is not going to be... I think we're going to, again, globalization is here to stay. But what I mean is that it's not going to be as easy to get things from point A to point B, because every single country, instead of being kind of like open and free flowing, when it comes to trade, it's going to be more closed off. But with that being said, each currency is going to have its own thing. We might not have a world reserve currency. We might just have a gold standard, silver standard, whatever. And then, yeah, there's going to be supplemented. I think we're going to move into a new paradigm, a new system, where we're leaving that old system behind, but we can't completely go to the brand new system. So it's going to be like a transfer, like a in-between system. And then that new system is going to be 100 years down the line. Again, yeah, look, I know I'm wearing my tie-dye shirt. Don't worry. But look, long story short, that's what I think. That's what I really think. But in between all that, we're going to go back to gold and silver. And yes, 100%, we're going to go to a point in which the Dow Jones, one stock, one share of the stock market is going to equal 1 ounce of gold. Okay, it's happened multiple times before. The last time it happened was in the 80s. I know this is not what this show's about. We're talking more Mexico stuff, but whatever. This is very important. For everybody to understand. But long story short, we're gonna go 1-to-1, and we know. That gold is not going to get to like, $30,000 like one share of the Dow is $30,000. But, we know that there's going to be a major crash coming. So how low will it go? And once it gets to that bottom and gold goes up to that price, it's going to equal. What's that number going to be? Who knows? It could be $3,000, or it could be $10,000, or it could be $15,000. Or it could be $1,000. But when that happens, boy, you know what I mean? Wow. Is that going to throw everything in the world for a tailspin? So, because this time around, I think, the rooster has come home to roost. Where I think this is the last time that the dollar is going to be able to do this. Unless, they themselves have a gold-backed dollar. They can beat out any other currency, which could happen. They do have a lot of gold, even though people think they don't. So the U.S. might come out with a brand new currency, which again, But other than that, it's going to be dicey. We'll see. We will see. So, silver is so abundant in Mexico. That's right. So, in fact, I was watching a video on... I think like TikTok or Instagram or something, a short video, a few minutes, and talking about China, and talking about when the Chinese Communist Party, when they took power back when they did, in the in the 40s, 50s, I don't know when they took power, but when they took power, they needed a currency, they needed something, and they were the Communist Party, they were isolating themselves from everybody. They weren't going to be connected with other countries and intertrade, and they weren't going to use a dollar. They're not going to use any of that, but they needed a currency. So what did they do? They went to Mexico and they bought silver Mexican coins, and they used Mexican silver, which they altered, or they coins and things like that. But anyways, they used Mexican silver in order to establish a currency. So, and then, again, we can go back to the Spanish Empire, when the Spanish Empire, what made it awesome, what made it like, the Spanish Empire, was, the silver that they took out of Mexico. But they took out so much silver out of Mexico that it hyperinflated very similarly to the money they're printing right now on a computer screen in the US with the dollar. But they did it with actual silver. That's how much silver there is. But again, with that being said, right now, with everything going on in today's world, every single item that you have around you, whether it's a cell phone, or the camera, or the equipment, or the computers, every single electronic out there uses silver. Okay? Not just the cobalt and all the other things that they're mining out there in Africa. No, they use silver and gold, but mostly silver. And, I can go on and on, you know what I mean? Like, the monetary value and so on and so forth. So, yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to be very interesting, when everything is said and done. And, we haven't even seen the beginning of it yet. You know what I mean? We're just getting there. The beginning is when that major crash happens. Who knows what's going to happen, when it's going to happen and what's going to happen. So it's going to be very interesting. So, hey, but you know what? Out here in Mexico, you get to enjoy the fireworks, whatever's going on. Literally, if you're on that beach, which is 2 hours away from where I'm sitting right now, but you can be sitting on that beach, all right? And you can literally be sipping your beer and you can watch the fireworks, because right across the beach is the other side of the USA, and you get to see, that's Houston, Louisiana, the Florida Panhandle. So when the fireworks are going off over there, whatever's happening, trust me, you just chill. Assuming you want to live here, you can just chill. In fact, this is the furthest away, because if you're closer to the border, you're definitely going to see some fireworks, So, anyways. So, what is the easiest way to learn Mexican Spanish? Practice. I have a fiance that knows Spanish already, but I need to learn as much as possible. That's right. Yeah, just practice. Because I speak Mexican Spanish now, even though my Spanish is really Cuban Spanish. But anywho's. But it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you guys... it's interesting because, I used to make a lot of content talking about, like, the economy and, gold and silver and Bitcoin and the dollar and all this other stuff. And, back then people did not care, did not listen. Nowadays, a lot of people listen because on this channel, I talk about that stuff. And I have videos talking about that stuff because you guys have asked me questions. And, we've done the whole question and answer thing that we do every Thursday. Not like this. The other thing. Just go to my website out there, for more information for any new viewers out there. But anyways, long story short, you guys asked me specific questions to talk about this. You pay me to talk about it. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, that how much interest, there is these days, on these topics. So, again, I got to remind myself, even though I'm talking about this thinking that you guys don't care, you do care, I think. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, everything go forward, man. And like being in Mexico and, the quicker you get to Mexico, the better, because the more, cemented you're going to be into society and, the better off you're going to be. And, the easier you're going to be able to take the brunt of whatever the hell's going to happen these days. So right now, I'm just sitting back, waiting for the fireworks, whenever that's going to be. It's, once you're living here, and you're disconnected from the U.S. or, whatever it is that's going on back home, Canada, Europe, whatever. Holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so different. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not even... Because, again, I was watching older videos of mine very recently for something I'm doing. And, I was just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, what my mindset was, how different it was, when I first moved here, as opposed to when... to now, you know what I mean? How I think of things today, you know what I mean? And so, just going back to some older videos to like, oh wow, remind myself, you know what I mean? As to like, what a lot of you guys are kind of going through right now, you know what I mean? That are still in the U.S. trying to find a way out, because to me, that is so far away from my reality these days, you know what I mean? Of like, escaping the U.S. or dealing with, all that, or dealing with, the trials and tribulations of like when you first move here and things like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm so happy and at peace here. You know what I mean? Like, people ask, it's like it's at the point where people don't even ask me anymore if I'm coming back home. They already know. They don't want to hear the answer. It's like, I'm not coming back home. Sure, I'll go visit. Sure, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like to live there, to live in the US, to go back and like, what the hell? Are you crazy? For what? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, nothing. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like the way of life, not just in Mexico, but really once you get out of the US, it's like a completely different way of life. And it's like, it's for some people, but it's not for everybody. Like I said, I have people like my sister and, other people, that I know, I love, they come out here and they never in a million years would they live out here, because it's not the way of life that they want. They enjoy the way of life of the USA. I get it. But man, for so many people, once they come out here and they experience it for the first time, it's like a drug. It's like a drug. Because I do talk to a lot of people. Again, I do one-on-one Zoom calls for anyone out there that would, like to do a one-on-one call. Talk about whatever, ask me about all kinds of things, about moving out here, whatever. But anyways, I have a lot of, conversations with people, and my God, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that, they come out here, because they want to come out here, but, they come out here on a reconnaissance trip. Just like a first, like, hey, let me really see what Mexico's like. And man, I hear back from them, and it's like, holy crap, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, it's like as soon as they get back home, all they're doing is just figuring it out. You know what I mean? Figuring out everything they got to do to get to Mexico, to get out of there. Because they just experience, once you really experience life outside of the USA, especially these days, holy crap, you know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, again, the longer I'm living here, the more it's like, my God, I cannot believe that not just me, but so many people live the way they live in the USA. I don't know what else to say, just that life, that life about, that I don't know. It's just fucking fuck. It's just insane. It's just insane. Because, like, again, just like the welders, these people that came out here, on their motorbike, poor as hell, doing their job. All they care about is, making enough money to get drunk, pay the bills, and just live with life. They don't even want fucking WhatsApp, you know what I mean? They don't even want to deal, with all that. Anyways, just a whole different mentality. And it's like, God damn, you know what I mean? It's like, geez, man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like in a good way, you know what I mean? It's like, Jesus, man, you know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. It's amazing, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, but the freedom that you get to do that, you know what I mean? Because look, out here, man, there's a lot of people that they're bums, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? They could be the greatest people in the world, but, there's all kinds of people out there. And out here, man, at the very least, you want to be a bum, man, you got to put at least a minimum work, something, do something, anything, whatever. But you want to live a certain way, you can live a certain way. Now, you want to do the opposite, you want to freaking be super all-star and reach the American dream, you can do it out here in Mexico. Some of the richest people in the world, you know what I mean, are Mexicans. Okay? Again, it always differs, the top richest people, but it's Americans. We got the Elon Musks of the world and the Bezos and the Bill Gates of the world. And then you got, the Carlos Slims of the world. And you got a bunch of other people I don't even know that are Mexicans. And these are all entrepreneurs and businessmen, okay? I'm not talking about like Saudi princes or whatever, talking about like real people that go out there and make it happen. So, out here in Mexico, people get it twisted, but it's just like that freedom, that whole thing out here. And then everybody's held accountable for whatever action they take. You know what I mean? Like, again, that's why, so many things run a certain way. And, but anyways, the way things are out here, man, it's just so much more sano. How do I say sano in Spanish? But so much healthier. So much, healthier, I think, right? It's the word I'm looking for. But that's like the translation thing, like the word really, it's just, it's the fact that the simpler way of life makes it automatically a healthier lifestyle. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, man, just all that and everything. And for example, the people that were working on my gate, I started off, kind of pissed at them. Then as they were working on everything, I was like, wow, I was really impressed with how amazing the work it was. I ended up almost kind of like upset with them, towards the end. But then at the very end, I was very happy with them. And at the end of the day, it's only now because I speak their language. And I understand them more as to how things work out here. And again, might be just this part of Mexico, maybe other parts of Mexico are the same, but it's just that, again, this is for some people, and it's for some people it works and some people it doesn't. And out here, it's just that, humans are humans out here. You know what I mean? They really just get to be themselves. And it's like, sometimes, they can, sometimes that dog will win the Westminster, dog show, and sometimes they won't. Sometimes they won't listen, when you tell them to sit. So, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, like I said, it's a healthier way to live. And I love it. And it's not for everybody. Sorry about my rant. Probably didn't make any sense at all. But it's like, Hopi in Asgard says, what did I learn economics? On YouTube, and I read a bunch of books, and I just, I learned it myself. And what I did learn is that, a lot of people that really do know about these things, the last thing they did was study economics. And if they did study economics or finances, economics. If they study economics, they quickly realize, especially if they do know a lot of the things that I know, it's like, fuck, everything that they teach you in economics is the opposite or wrong compared to what really is going on out there. And, to me, it's especially in today's day and age where information is everywhere, it's infinite, the real truth is out there. And, a lot of it has to do with history, man, just human history, and that's the thing. And for me, I think I just learned all this because of my curiosity, because I've always loved history. And when you really, study the history of money, when you study the history of, money, economics, of finances, throughout, which is, again, I know it sounds like the most boring subject in the world, but it's not. And when you study it, you're like, holy crap, it's the same shit. You know what I mean? From the beginning of time, the same thing. The Romans, even before that, but the Romans are the really ones, they really kind of cemented even the same cycle, the system that we're running with today. And it's just freaking insane, you know what I mean? And, that's what I'm saying. We're living in a huge paradigm shift. People are talking like AI, talking about robots, talking about all this stuff. But, yeah, money too, man. Money is also changing. So many things are changing. It's insane. And it's never going to be the same way ever again. Economics are not going to be the same way again. The whole world is not going to be the same way again. And, yeah, man, a lot of it has to do with just studying the history. That's just that. Being curious. I don't know. It's a great question. But yeah, I guess the curiosity, because the more I found out, the more I found out the gay frogs, the more I found out that they really were turning the gay frogs, the frogs gay. The more I was like, I gotta go deeper. But, deeper in the sense of again, going deeper down the history books, not deeper down the conspiracy rabbit hole. Nah, man. Just no. Let me see what the hell is really going on here. And when you really find out, it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is the same thing that they've been doing since forever. But now with the technology, you know what I mean? The whole, again, the crypto, technology and all this other stuff, computers, all these other things. It's like, oh no. Now it's just like when we went to the printing press. Because when we went to the printing press, that really changed the paradigm. You know what I mean? Again, because before you had to have coins. Everything had to go with coins. And so basically, for example, you start off, with a silver coin, pure silver. And eventually, as you're melting it down, as they bring it back, to the mint, they add nickel, they start adding a bunch of other metals, and before you know it, it's not 100% silver, now it's like 5% silver, and everything else is all this other crap. So that's the way they used to do it, but eventually they invented the printing press, which, helped, a lot with, books and knowledge and stuff like that. But one thing that it did is printing money. Now it's we can just print paper. So we went through that whole evolution, which is ending now. And now what's happening is, since the 80s or longer, they've introduced computers. And so now they don't even need, and I know they make you believe they're printing money and the paper, they're doing that. But really, all this hyperinflation, all these trillions, gazillions, bazillions of dollars, whatever, it's all on a computer screen. And that's only possible, since we introduced computers. Okay? But now, that's coming, to another, kind of fork in the whole thing, where now things are changing. With these computers now, again, now, they have the ability, just like the printing press had the ability for people to say, hey, we're going to print our own money. We're going to use our own money. We don't have to rely on gold and silver. We can just print money and use our own money for our own economy and yada, yada, yada. So now we're going to see that with crypto. Okay? And it's going to be interesting. You'll see. But how did I know? Just in my curiosity. It's like, damn. And then just like really just, I don't know, maybe just doing a lot of drugs. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Just doing a lot of psychedelics and, just, I don't know, man. Just, I feel like a lot of this stuff is common sense. But I remember a time when I never in a million years saw myself understanding anything of this stuff. But now it's like, geez, how do people don't get it? So that's why I try to, talk about it, spread the knowledge, assuming people want to hear it. But yeah, it's going to be very different. Going forward. I mean? Once this whole system really, 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 really crashes, holy crap, man. Who knows what's gonna bring, Who knows what's gonna happen. So, and whether or not it's all gonna crash in the next few months, I don't think so. I think we're just gonna go through a correction or whatever even fits the description of a correction these days, But whatever, man. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But at the end of the day, man, what I did learn from history, even through all these iterations of all these technologies and all this yada, yada, blah, 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 whatever, but basically technologies and, more human knowledge and, the smarter we think we are, the stupider we really are. But anyways, long story short, at the end of the day, it all goes back to gold and silver. That's why, look, even coins, this is just a regular coin, it's not, it's like, again, nickel and bronze or whatever, a lot cheaper than that. But whatever this is made out of, it's even made to look like gold and silver, because it's like, same as the money that you have, in your country. Because we're, that's what it is. We're going to go back to that eventually, So it's going to be interesting to see when and how it all happens. So, and now with all these, wars going on, all the things that are happening in Africa, all the things that are happening in, the whole Ukraine thing, with China, Taiwan, India, China, I could go on and on. It's, God, man. People, who knows, man? There could be civil war in the USA or not. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Genaro Diaz. Shout out to you. Yeah, well, weed is already legal in Mexico, Herbs is already legal in Mexico, but it's just like you can't buy or sell it yet. That's the only thing. But I think that's it. Oh, it's getting late. Well, I can go on a little longer, but I gotta head out in a little bit. My guys, everybody out there in the audience, shout out to everybody in the audience today. I hope you like my songs. And when I sing for you, because I know you like it. And even if you don't, I'm singing anyways. All right, so hold on, we got that one guy. Hold on. Bruh. Anyways, all right, let's go. More questions. Line them up. Put a little music while we wait. What about Maui? Do I think it was some laser beams? Laser beams! Yes, it was probably some space cats with laser beams. Look, I don't know. Yes, but if you ask Jose, yes, he probably would say laser beams. Look, honestly, it could be laser beams or just straight up, sabotage. You know what I mean? Like, just pay some guys to go out there and, have some barbecues. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. But yes, definitely, smells like Teen Spirit. Smells fishy. All right? So, no, I am not, I'm not about the whole, I'm not about the agendas, all right? Trust me. If you watch a show long enough, I'm not about no agendas. Oh, awesome, Joe Peach. Thank you very much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Glad you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Renato Diaz. Really appreciate you as well. Do you need witnesses to get married? Yes, you do. How does a marriage work over there? It's fairly similar to how it is in the US. So, but yeah, just witnesses. You know, in our case, I think grandma was a witness, and I don't know who else. I think her cousin? Yeah, her cousins. So her cousin and grandma were the witnesses. And we did it at City Hall. Okay? You can also get married by the church and all this other stuff, but you know, me and Christian are heathens, so we had to go to just go to the City Hall, you know? So. Bruh. Yeah, we were not good Catholics kids. So that's why we couldn't do the church. We wanted to get married by the church, obviously. You know, that would have been the whole Mexican dream situation, right? Get married in the church. But when we realized how much more expensive, and then the fact that I had to do all this religious stuff, I was like, all right, I'm out. All right, I'm out. Oh, shout out to Henry with the $2. Thank you very much. Thank you, Renato. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all the chats. Super chats. Oh my goodness. So anyways, thank you everybody for all the kind words. By the way, you know, like shout out to all the new subscribers, all the new viewers. I know there's a lot of you guys out there. It's really, thank you so much. All right, I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying a lot of the new videos I'm making, because you know, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm glad, because it's topics I want to talk about. It's more topics I want to cover, as opposed to, you know, making other kind of videos. So I appreciate that. So it makes me feel happy, and it also makes it easier on me to want to make content. And I'm going to be making food content as well soon. I got my other channel, but I might as well just kind of like give you guys a little hint, since you guys already, you know, you guys been here for, you know, over 2 hours already. But yeah, that's coming soon. So we're going to be making food content. And yes, that's going to be revolving around the business concept I was talking about. So we're going to be moving forward with all that going forward, all right? So in the next few months, you're going to be seeing more of that. We're going to keep this whole thing going, all right? Because I'm actually enjoying making content on this channel now, and this is a lot of fun. So we're going to be doing a lot, you know, the same content on here at the very least. But we're definitely going to go the cooking. We're going to get back into that, all right? And kind of rebrand it and do a bunch of things with all that, okay? So we're going to move in a different direction with the cooking, but we're going back to that. 100%, because, you know, like I said, the first thing I was gonna do didn't pan out. My first business thing, the thing I've been trying to work on the whole year, so whatever. But at the end of the day, that had to do with cooking as well. That was also with food, and like I said, it didn't work out, but it got all my juices flowing again. So, you know, we're just gonna keep moving in that direction, but completely different. You'll see. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to share it with you guys. And you know, I know a lot of you guys who doesn't love food, right? I know there's a few people out there that don't care about food content or love food content, but I think most people do, right? And I think if you do like a poll, I think like 8 out of 10 people love food, right? I mean, who doesn't? We all eat it. Anyways, I don't want to keep forgetting Renato out there with a $5 super chat. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Muchas gracias. I'm glad all my content has been so helpful. It really, you know, really makes me feel happy. Shout out to everybody. Oh, we got Kate with the $10 on PayPal. Woohoo! Thank you, Kate. Shout out to you. All right. No wrong. All right. Making it rain. Shout out to everyone. Are you doing another attorney Q&A? Sure. You know what? What would you guys like me to talk about? That's kind of like a great natural nines. You know. The reason I haven't done another one with him is only because I did one about immigration. I did another one about real estate. What would you guys like to hear about? What questions would you like to hear from him or talk about further? How do I find witnesses? Witnesses is anybody, man. You can just pick 2 people off the street, man. Don't worry about that. It's not a big deal. Literally. The witnesses can be anybody. It doesn't matter. You can just literally, like I said, say, hey, you want to make a few, 100 pesos for a second? You want to come be my witness at my wedding? Assuming that neither one of you guys has witnesses, aka any friends or family. If you don't have any friends or family, you know what I mean? You can simply just get anybody off the street. So, but I'm sure you gotta have some sort of friends or family, right? Come on. So. Anyway, but shout out to everybody. But so I can't believe we're about to hit 16,000 subscribers. What do you guys think about that, huh? So. We're like 42 subscribers away from 16,000. It might as well be 16,000. We might as well call it. We'll call it. So we're basically, we'll call this as like a 16,000 subscriber, celebration. And then we'll do 17,000 subscriber celebration probably the end of next month. All right, we'll see. We'll work on it. We'll figure it out. Well, next month is September. Next month is my birthday. Oh my God. We'll probably just do like a birthday live stream. Whatever. We'll figure it out. But next month is my birthday. So, hope you guys are ready for that. It's going to be fun. How to import a car from the US or Canada? I don't know. I have no idea how you got to do all that. Maybe you can ask around in the Facebook groups, how other people did it. But honestly, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Honestly, if I were you, just, you can drive as long as you got your tip. If you got a temporary or permanent residency, you'll have a tip, which is a, temporary import permit for your automobile. And then that thing is basically a visa for your automobile. So you just keep doing that until that's it. You know what I mean? You don't really got to worry about it. You really don't have to like import it until you become a citizen. So. Yeah, exactly. It's not really recommended, to import. That's such a pain. And it's expensive for most people, for most cars. How far is the beach from Merida? Depends on what part of Merida. About 45 minutes to an hour. Not a big deal. Like I've said multiple times, let's say you're living in a place that's like Miami or other cities that are close to the beach. Most of the time, you're going to be living in a residential area close to a city type area. In order to get to the beach, it's going to take a drive. So, and then again, it's about an hour. But again, most people, again, depends. Some people depends on if you're in the super north, it might be 30 minutes to get to the beach or less, But for some people, let's say for me, it's about, honestly, 45 minutes to get to Progreso. But to get to other beaches a little further. But, yeah. Well, Fredo, if you want me to make a video about a certain topic, I do that. All you got to do is simply go to my website where it says personalized consultations, and I show you exactly how you can ask me a question for me to answer in a live stream in a certain way. So yeah, I can go and do research and all that stuff if you want. So south of the border, down Mexico way. All right, singing that song. Hi, can you still get temporary residency by regularization? I don't know what that means. But I think, oh yeah, oh, you mean the residency program? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Honestly, you need to check with José Novelo. His information is in the description of this video. And his information is also on my website. But just reach out to him directly and just, you know, kind of give him an overview of what your situation is. And he'll let you know whether or not you're still qualified. And then if you are, then yeah, you know, he'll probably be able to help you out too. But reach out to him. But I don't know. I have no idea. But I think so. I think you can still get it. James says you can't import a U.S. car if it's newer than 8 years. After that, it's expensive. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. They want you to buy Mexican. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and it's cheaper to buy in Mexico. But yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's interesting. So basically, it's like not even worth it or almost impossible. But the reality is that in order for you to import it, or I mean, like, look, the only reason you would want it, let me get to it. If you're in a temporary residency or permanent residency, you don't have to import it. It's only after you're a Mexican citizen, then you have to import it because, well, now it has to be a Mexican car because a Mexican cannot own a foreign plated car. But again, you're probably going to be a dual citizen, so you can probably get around that as well. But long story short, you don't have to worry about it so much. I don't know, honestly, importing the car, I mean, unless you don't want your car to have foreign plates, which I understand, you might not want your car to have foreign plates. You might want your car to have local plates. And in that case, then yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to be very expensive just for that convenience. Makes sense? Joe Pete says, how's the truck running? Oh, awesome. Running pretty good. You know, it's, sometimes, hold on. I got a sound effect for that one. Hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly how the truck is running. Damn it, where's the sound effect? Oh, there we go.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Bruh. But mostly good. Mostly good. Anyways. All right, guys, I'm going to be heading out soon because I have yet to have dinner. It's already 9 p.m. my time. But I hope we had some fun today. Answering some questions, had some fun. Thank you to everyone out there with all your donations. Shout out to all of you. But, by the way, but just going back to the truck, I might as well finish on that. But the truck, I mean, it's running really good. It's funny because, like, today, I was, like, running. I turned it on. I had to go do a few things. And it was, like, giving me a few, I felt it was giving me a few problems. But as I ran my errands, by the time I was kind of done running my errands, the truck was running great. So I think it's just, again, man, the truck is an old truck. Again, it's still on a carburetor, like, come on, that's before fuel injection for people that don't know. So with that being said, that car, I don't know how many miles it has on it. It runs great. It runs awesome. But at the end of the day, what I'm realizing is that older cars are not like newer cars. So like an older car, man, you know what I mean? Like it's an old machine, man. You know what I mean? Like the more you work it, the more you run it, the more you keep it nice and oiled and moving and running, the better it is. So sometimes I just leave it sitting there for days because I don't freaking use it. I don't need it. I'll just ride my bike or I'll walk wherever I got to go. Again, it's just sitting there, you know what I mean? And so like, that's actually worse as opposed to if I was like running it every day. So it's like a mix of that. And then, like I said, it's like sometimes I'm thinking, fuck, sometimes, like I said, sometimes I'm feeling like it's, sometimes I'm feeling it's like this.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
But then, you know what I mean? Like I said, by the time I finish my day, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, now it's running great. And so, from past experience, I know when I drive it every day, it's great. But it's again, not to answer Henry's question, how much gas mileage? I don't know. And it's now having an issue with like the gas line, or it might having a little bit of a gasoline leak, which is like the last thing you want is to have like a gasoline issue with this truck, just simply because it's like it wastes so much. So like, the last thing you want is for some sort of situation in which you're wasting more gas than you need to be wasting, so it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? It's like a double whammy. It's like right now it's like,
Bruh.
a lot of times, when I'm taking a drive, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like on Saturday I gotta go do a video. I'm gonna take a drive all the way to a certain area, and I'm thinking about, damn, should I take an Uber or drive? I was like, well, if I drive, I can get some footage. You know what I mean? It's probably it's gonna be more expensive if I drive than if I take the Uber. But I was like, well, I'm gonna get some footage. I'm also gonna go do a video. Might as well do, whatever. All right, like figuring out, and hoping it makes it there, and I think it will, because I'm gonna, again, take it for a drive tomorrow. Take it for a drive, make sure it's that. But yeah, long story short, it's a lot more kind of like upkeep in a different kind of situation. But it's great. It's fun. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's fun, and it's an adventure. For sure, but we're getting close to that point where I can drive the truck and not really worry about it. And we're already there pretty much. But yeah, because a lot of times I'll take it for a drive and I'm like, fuck. I hope I don't have to call tow truck. I hope it's not gonna have anything like that. But yeah, no, at this point I'm pretty confident. We're pretty good. But it's just, I got to go on and take it out for more of a drive. But, it's expensive on the gas. I don't know what the gas mileage is. It could be like freaking, 2 miles to the gallon. I don't know. But long story short, it's expensive. And, right now, like I just haven't had money, to pay for gas. This is the reality of it. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Pretty soon, what was I gonna say? We gotta fix that situation. Once we fix the gas situation, that leaks, whatever's going on there, I think we're gonna get to good gas mileage. Because when I first got the truck, I had better gas mileage than what it did now. But we've kind of discovered, what was going on there, because we fixed all these other issues, where it's like, it's that, and that's not an issue you want to have, But again, it is what it is. How about getting a motorcycle? I honestly, I would love to get a scooter. I would love to get a little tuk-tuk, but I don't have any money. You know what I mean? Like, but I would love to get a little tuk-tuk or a little scooter, something like that. You know what I mean? Yes, 100%. But I don't have the money. You know what I mean? But it's like a few grand. You know what I mean? But I would love to get one. You know what I mean? That'd be great. Because Christian can drive it too, we can both drive it. That'd be awesome to get footage on that. So, whatever. But yeah, I would love to get that, you know what I mean? But, I got no money, man. But yeah, let me see. How do I send you funds on this? Well, you can go to my website, or, hey, Loda, can you post the links again? Yeah, like a Vespa, like whatever, like a Vespa, like a scooter, anything like that, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get like a tuk-tuk, you know what I mean? I would prefer that because, I can transport things in it, you know what I mean? It's, like the truck. But long story short, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like a few grand, you know what I mean? It's going to be, too much. It's out of our range at the moment. But, is Guadalajara a good, cheap option for a 46-year-old single guy, or what would you pick? I mean, yeah, it's a great spot. The thing is, it's like, you got to do your research. There's like a lot of YouTubers out there that live in all parts of Mexico, and just see what's good for you. You know what I mean? Like, you might like it there, you might not like it there. It depends. You know what I mean? There's a million reasons. You know what I mean? Like remember, Mexico's like the USA, and it's like, you're asking me, is like, is LA good? Would you prefer LA over Miami or New York or Texas? It's like, I mean, they're all so fucking different. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. So that's like, I don't really, I don't know how to answer that. But I mean, I hear great things. And I recommend people that have done some research on Guadalajara, you know what I mean, that they want to move there. Yeah, definitely. 1,000,000%. I recommend it. It's a good spot. So, but again, it just depends on what you're into, For me, probably not so much because, I've already lived in many big cities and, I like living out here. You know what I mean? Like I said, this reminds me more of Miami before it became Miami. And that's nice. So that's why I like it here. But it's not for everybody. Remember, a lot of people don't like Miami. But yeah, I'm looking at the map of Guadalajara. Yeah, but it's close to that Lake Chapala place, right? And then Lake Chapala, like Ajic. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, people like that place, right? Yeah, I don't know anything about Mexico, bro. I live here like almost 6 years. I don't know shit. No, 5.5 years, but still. But yeah. Guadalajara's great, man. Why not? Like I said, I hear great things about it. It's just a big city. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I'm just, for some people it's great, So, but yeah, I think so. I think you'll like it. Cool New York accent. Oh, I'm not from New York. I'm not from New York. All right? I'm not a Yankee fan. All right? Word to your mother. No, that's the Boston, right? No, I'm from Miami. Miami. My first language was Cuban Spanish, and then I, later on, like learned English in school, when I was like kindergarten, first grade. But long story short, obviously if you know anything about the East Coast, there's a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of people from the East Coast that live in Miami. So that's my English. My English is from the influence of the East Coast, from the people that live there, and the Miami thing, just the whole Miami thing. Oh, wow, look at that. Renato with a $20 super chat. Shout out to you. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Yeah. All right. Oh, man. Oh, Hernando. But I got to get going soon, man. All right, we got a question there. It's like, what cell internet service you recommend? Oh, honestly, okay, for cell phone, Telcel. 100%. I don't know. Other people might recommend other things, but Telcel, number one. All right, here, I'll type it in the thing, right? Okay, Telcel. All right, for phone company, for cell phone. And as for internet service, the reality is that, it depends on where your region you are. You know what I mean? What part of Mexico you're in, what city you're in, and then depending on okay. Yeah, and then within each city, depending on in the neighborhood, some neighborhoods will have service from these companies and not those companies, and so it really just depends. So basically, wherever you move to, you got to ask around them, kind of like, hey, what do they have here, and then see what they got. Look, right now I got to renew my internet thing, and I want to get more megabytes or whatever, and I see that the company that I'm using doesn't have, only has a limit. 100 megabytes, and I want to get more, and they don't offer more. But then I look at other companies in the area, and they offer more. But that same company in other areas offers like a gazillion gigabytes. It's just that here they don't have. So it's just like, honestly, it's just that's how it's gonna work, Oh wow, look at that $10 super chat. Oh my god. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for making it rain. Shout out to all of you guys. Oh my god. Yeah, I would play the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song here or whatever, but I don't know if I was going to get demonetized or whatever if I do, but pretend I played it. Thank you, Max Virtual, for the $10. Much appreciated. And thank you, Renato, for the $20. Thank you very much. Very nice of you guys. Man, I was about to end the stream, but now I feel obligated to stick around a little longer. So, I'm going to stick around a little bit. I've heard, David says, I heard you need, I've heard all you need is a good paid VPN, so an online job can't track you where you're at. I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but like from what I understand is that yes, some companies are not even going to care. You'll be fine. I don't know, because I don't work online like that, so I don't know. But a lot of people, what they've realized is that they've gotten a job, a remote job from other companies that work, maybe in Europe, instead of the USA, and just get around the whole fucking thing to begin with, So, yeah, I mean. Oh, shout out to Queens. Oh, living in Querétaro. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard awesome things about Querétaro too. How about this? I've only been to Tijuana. I've only been to Oaxaca, Mexico City. That's really it. So, but anyway, shout out to everyone out there. I see there's a bunch of new viewers at the moment, or new participants in the chat. Shout out to all you guys. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about, let me know. I'm going to stick around a little longer because, like I said, I feel a little obligated to do so after the awesome super chats by Mr. Max Virtual and Genaro Diaz. By the way, shout out to both of you guys, and I'm really happy and glad that I've been able to help you guys and help out so many out there, and continue to do so going forward. So, I'm glad you guys like these live streams and the videos and everything else. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody out there. What kind of shout out should I don't know. Well. Oh, wrong sound effect, but whatever. Anyways. Can I ask how cheap an apartment would be that you would feel comfortable to live in? Again, it just depends on what part of Mexico you're in. But honestly, a couple $100, or $100. I would say probably $100. Yes, $100 a month. Yes, but again, it really just depends on what part of the Mexico you're in and what city, because the thing is that like for example, not many people live in apartments in Mérida, but when you go to like Oaxaca, it's mostly apartments because there's not enough space because it's up in the mountains and it's like there's no room to build, so there's a lot more apartments to rent there. Same thing as like let's say Mexico City, other places. You follow me? So it just depends, where you're talking about and what you mean by apartment, but and how cheap an apartment might be. So I don't know. In this part of Mexico, and like where I live, yeah, $100, tops. You know what I mean? For like the lowest end cheap apartment, that's safe. but oh, thank you, Max Stream. Shout out to you, brother, or man. But I'm guessing you're a man. It is, ma'am. You remember that one for the GameStop? Anyways, forget it. I went to Mixte when I was there. Super great grub. Recommend any of the spots for grub next time in the Yucatan? Is that what you mean? Yeah, there's a lot of great spots. I would say if you want Yucatecan food, you could try this place called ¿cómo se llama? La Pequeña Susana. By the way, I have these things on my website. Might as well show you guys. Might as well. Shameless plug. Website. Okay, so here's my website. Free Mexico resources. I changed it to Mexico, so, make it easier for people. But most of the stuff, again, it's for Mexico, like this stuff and other stuff. But down here, there's certain things that are just for Mérida. Again, you want glasses, dentist, personal assistant, veterinary services. What else? And then my favorite places. I got to update this and add more places. But Helados Colón, great ice cream. En Malin Azul, little hidden gem in El Centro, literally right in El Centro. So if you're doing any of the touristy stuff, you can go there. If you want real authentic Yucatecan food, there's a bunch of places. But if you want the real deal, skip the Chaya Maya. That's a little bit too hoity-toity. Try the Pequeña Susana. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. They have very big portions. So be aware of that, but really great. Cantina Lucero. If you want a little fancy, Italian food, Oliva, Enoteca. See, like I said, I gotta add other stuff here. If you want other, authentic, Yucatecan street food, go to Parque Santa Ana. And DeLorean, it's just a friend's bar. So if you like a classic rock and roll, you want to see live music on an almost nightly basis. I think every night you go there. You want to buy some records. Really good friend, awesome guy. But anyways, yeah, I got to update this and add more stuff there. But anyways, hope that was informative to you guys out there. Oh, that's right. Hey, Freedom Fanny. Shout out to Freedom Fanny in the chat. Shout out to you. Another crowd favorite. Chen has great Yucatecan food. Oh, okay. Is that the place that we went to, or is that somewhere else? But anyways, I trust her opinion. So try that place too. Another great spot. All right, back to the beach. Shout out to you. Freedom Fanny. All right, so let me see. El Jefe. Apartments are a lot cheaper outside the major cities. I paid $275 for mine. Yeah, because right now, because again, I don't know where you live, El Jefe, but right now I paid $325 or $330. $325. Let's just say $325 right now. $325 for a 2-bedroom home. But I know, $325 is, just a shitty apartment in Mexico City. You know what I mean? So, okay. I know the restaurant. Okay, yeah, I've been there before. That's a great spot. So that so Chen is a great spot. Great food. I've been there before. Yeah, I took my mom there too, actually. So it's a good spot. So, I liked it. But anyways, all right. I think we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Let me see, how's the weather towards the end of the year? It's nice and cool. I made a whole video on the weather. You can check out the previous live streams. I talk a whole episode about the weather. All right. Mac Cat says, like the Calcal video, seems like you don't really need to leave Calcal for basic stuff. Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's basically at this point become its own little city. And, just like any Mexican city, it has everything, so it's all there. Whether they got all the small little stores, or, other, bigger stores you saw in the video. Yeah. And then, not too far away, driving distance, they have, plazas, which are like, again, commercial centers, where they have, everything else you need, So, can you get an apartment with a queen size bed? Of course you can. But anyways, all right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. We've already done almost 3 hours. I got to head out of here. I'm starving. I'm tired. Been fun. Really appreciate you guys. I can't believe we're already we're basically at 16,000 subscribers. Holy crap. But we're just a few subs away from that. So, next time we see each other, we might be at 17,000. So, who knows? We've been growing very quickly. Everything's been going awesome. Really love you guys. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks again for all the love. Thanks again for all the, again, all the, support. All the love and support. Sorry. Brain fart. But anyways, thanks again for all the love and support. Thanks again for everything. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks again for hanging out with me today. And really, can't wait to hang out with you again on Thursday. Next Thursday in the afternoon. You already know we do our weekly, question and answer sessions, right? Where we answer 3 of your questions. So again, just check those out. See you guys on Thursday. And I'll see you guys next month for another one of these, free-for-alls where I just, go on and answer all your questions and we talk about all kinds of stuff. So really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And thanks again for watching. You already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon. But more importantly than everything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Nighty-night, guys. Peace.